It was,
yeah. It sounded familiar. It's just been a long time.
I think it was a raid on some sort of cult or something. I remember there was like dark priests, and
something like that. Probably necromantic cult then.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah, install the walnuts.
That was probably like used for ritual or something. You were gonna summon the demonic squirrel, you know.
Walnut golem. It's a very it's a
fiendish squirrel.
Monster Manual 8.
It's delicious.
Yeah, and the miscellaneous golems. Walnut golem. With the chicken bear and whatever else.
Yeah.
The new variety of beholder that has an extra eye.
Oh, wow.
The nine-eyed beholder.
This one makes you fall in love when you look at it.
We call it the Beholder Prime or something like that.
The triple beholder.
All right, shall we get started?
Sure.
We won't have Halldamir today, so you'll just have a very silent companion who also only supports you mentally in combat. But
hopefully flies the ship.
Probably.
Because otherwise we are not going many places.
Just like ram the comet and die, and they're like, well, what do we do now?
But yeah, which one of you wants to do the recap?
I reckon I can do it.
All right, go for it.
Because last time, I believe we started by setting out to finally go and save the people that were on the planet, the stranded people. And in doing that, it went great and all. But then we encountered a pirate ship in an asteroid field surrounding the planet, and they kicked our ass until we luckily shot their engine and then bailed before they could follow us. I retain that that's still a good choice because they were somewhat more skilled than we were. Anyway, we landed on the planet and found out it's full of sand. We kind of knew that, but what we didn't know was that as we were walking towards to finding these people who were stranded, their old ship had a beacon that we could follow. Horrible death shards rained from the sky. Terrible monsters, horrible things, just exhausting you and draining your life force. Then we got to the ship and looked around, and like a screaming death horror came up from the sand and screamed loudly. So that was bad. We killed it though, and then we moved on because we saw that this was a broken ship, and we found I think like a computer that had some information on it that said we will go towards the big geyser thing that somebody built. And so we walked over a hill and said, "Oh yeah, there's a big geyser thing," and then we walked to that, and that's where they were, and they were very happy to see us, and we took them with us home. Wait, was this where we were attacked by the pirate ship?
Yep, you were attacked by the pirates.
I feel like that was on the way home.
We were attacked by the pirates as we were leaving the planet with stranded survivors, yes.
I got that wrong. But apparently, that was when we got attacked by a pirate ship and escaped. And we went to the drift and returned home with them. And they gave us the very tangible reward of a vague promise that they would help us or do something for us sometime. With that, we talked to Chiskesk. And we had a message incoming that a representative for one of the companies involved
Astral Extractions.
Yes, those guys wanted to speak to us about a matter, and she was very corporate and said that they were very sorry that they assassinated that one guy. That's really not how they generally operate. Usually they don't get caught in their sneaky stuff. So if we would please look away from that, and then they would pay us money to do an easy job of checking what's inside that big asteroid they've been fighting about. Because the Starfinder seemed like an excellent third party to get involved whenever there's potential riches, they thought. And we agreed, because, that's something to do. Might get us get our names on the minds of more people, and, we kind of didn't have a job now, so it seemed to make sense. maybe there's something dangerous in there we can protect the place from. Maybe there's something good that we can share between people. I don't know. But we've basically been given the first look inside, and we've also been given a promise that our opinion will be heard when it is decided what's going to happen to the thing. Did I miss anything? I feel like that's it.
I think you got the gist. Although I will consider your interpretation of what Mrs. Joss offered you your interpretation, because she didn't actually say most things.
What did she say? You don't get paid and you don't get a say?
She didn't offer you money, because that would be considered bribery. But she did suggest that you will get a say. And the actual person doing the mediation is the Eoxian ambassador, Nor.
Yes, and he would pay us, potentially.
He will most likely pay you. Hazard pay, even.
You're going to talk to him first, I think.
Yes, the Eoxian embassy, even, difficult word, where you're invited, is located in, of course, Epsilon Station's most wealthy district, in the Parkside neighborhood, in the central eye, below the sky, shining through the transparent dome. The embassy is very easy to spot, not only because of the ever so slightly higher presence of security, but also because it's built in the traditional Eoxian architecture, which of course means black marble, bone-pale limestone, vaulted ceilings, and I've also learned my favorite word, sepulchral furnishings, which means grave-like. I had to look that up. And also disconcertingly organic architectural details, as if the walls of the black and bone-white structure had things inside. Still, if you look away from those details, it is actually rather pretty from a distance. Of course, the attendants and security do check whoever approaches rather carefully, as with most embassies. It is usually only the actual citizens of Eox that are allowed to enter without invitation. But of course, you have an invitation, so there's no issue. 2 skeletal assistants clattering forward will lead you into the interior of the mausoleum-like structure.
Great.
Rounding.
This tomb will be your grave, Starfinders.
If you look apart from the whole thing of looking from a tomb, he said it looked nice from a distance. So that's really not a good thing.
Leading you through the massive marble gates, and eventually rounding the odd corner into a room.
I like rooms.
And on that room is a skull. Inside that skull is another skull. So that skull's a skull origami skull.
Well,
wonderful. It's a message.
I'm riveted by this description. Please
the
continue.
room, however, as I was just about to describe, is a rather stark contrast to the rest of the architecture, as it is not marble on the floor and the walls, but rather either real or imitation wood, making the medium-sized room seem almost like the inside of a rather nicely furnished cabin. There is different shelves with knickknacks and globes of different planets and moons standing on them, vases of different designs and other things, presumably gifts. And at the eastern wall, there are 3 nice paintings. Even from a distance, you can tell that those aren't just prints, but have been drawn with actual, by an actual artist. One of them is, of course, presumably a scene from Eox, displaying yet another cathedral-like building, although much, much, much bigger than the embassy. The other two are an artist rendition of Absalom Station, sort of almost like a Van Gogh, very very abstract. And the third one is a nice junglescape, looking almost like Castroville, although it doesn't seem to be a real place, rather than just a jungle. In the room's center, behind a very glossy and dark wood desk, sits, without a doubt, an Eoxian. Bone words. Skeletal, just like the attendants, an elongated cranium, and an eerie light coming from its empty sockets. Dressed in a very fine satin-like robe of black and red. It, or rather he, has his hands steepled together, staring at a monitor on the right side of its desk, that, as he notices you at the press of a button, disappears into the desk itself, leaving it mostly empty apart from writing utensils. Ambassador Nor, who I will show you. There you go.
So does he have like old style like writing utensils? Like what do folks typically write with? Like in this period of time?
Typically people don't write. They type or use voice input. The writing utensils that Ambassador Nor seems to have are very, very old style, as in feather and ink, as well as some more modern papers.
Now, considering how he is presumably an immortal being, like his or its or whatever's existence could go like I know that like there are elves whose like length of time alive goes into like the gap which no one can remember. Could like one of these Eoxian entities be just as old?
You could roll me a culture check.
That was the largest slurp I've ever heard. Or loudest, I should say.
Of course, there are some general rumor-like things that everyone knows, but maybe Tasselis has some actual sources. Yes, Eoxians can be very, very, very old, especially the higher-ranking members, of which there are few. And the official ambassador of Absalom Station, or of Eox rather, on Absalom Station, is likely going to be one of the very highest.
Right.
How old exactly he is impossible to tell, and nobody really knows.
Right. So that knowledge and seeing those actual implements of writing on the desk further solidifies in Tasselis' brain that this is an awful idea. Got it.
As he notices you after stowing away the monitor, Ambassador Nor stands up, giving you a slight bow, before pressing another button on his desk. Moments after, a person appears as part of the wooden wall slides back and steps into the room. He is a rather burly humanoid in a dark green jumpsuit apron, sort of, and has the words janitor on his chest. Ambassador Nor turns to him and says, "My guests have arrived. Would you be so kind as to bring them some chairs?" The burly humanoid just nods and disappears back into the door that is opened, and after another few moments returns a handful of stacked chairs, wooden chairs even. As Ambassador Nor turns to you, gesturing to the chairs currently being set up in front of his desk, and waits for you to sit.
We're all set.
Yeah, Tilas was set. So
Yeah,
sort
like,
of
right in a line in front of his desk.
Suspiciously eye the chair because he was expecting it to be made of bone. And then he will...
have an obvious death spike.
Yeah. It is a cursed chair.
Stick a
You could
wire
If you
coils.
seek it
Black
once, you can never
marbles,
stand again.
Spider webs and pumpkins for handles. And
you could give me a perception check investigating the chair.
I knew profession
That would be
carpentry
so
would
great.
pay off here.
It's
I'm an idol of carpentry. In fact.
I imagine it looks in here like in Kingdom Hearts Halloween Town. That's what I imagine it looking in here. It's just
Outside, right? This guy had a locked cabin for his office.
I suppose. I mean, sure.
Personally, as a player, I look at that guy, I'm like, I don't trust him.
No, you see that, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
Victor, however, is probably just like,
the
server disconnected.
the catch is that they're excellent ambassadors and diplomats, but it's because they're lying through their teeth 100% of the time.
Well, see, I think that's not a judgment towards like Eoxians and their undead nature so much as it just as ambassadorship and like power politics. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Don't trust them not because they look like they're a villain from a bad Halloween movie, but because they're a politician.
But they're also liches.
no, I'm pretty sure this entity, as the server disconnects, at least for me, that could crush us if it so desired without getting outside assistance, if it just so willed it. So
Yeah,
that's one
Yeah, he
black
just
mark.
looks at you and he goes,
like as a player, I think, oh, they can live forever, which means that their plans can be really, really long.
Yes.
Whatever they
Yeah.
want is bad. But Victor, having lived in this world for his whole life, probably just has like weird questions to ask them, like, do they eat chips or?
Do you care about the
You
game?
Yeah, exactly. What it feels a little like it's an unfair advantage never to get tired.
Do they participate in sport?
It's very hard to
do
foul.
you guys have a local equivalent of sport ball?
Is there Yoxian wrestling? And how does that
There you
work?
go.
I
It's
think
very.
I mean, the national
What if
sport.
people collapse and their
No,
bones?
no.
get
I mean, the
loose?
national sport has to be some
Welcome
sort of
back,
like
God.
fleshcraft, right? Like it's
That's
like
an interesting topic. Let me restart the server.
It's
something.
bad manners to grab them by the ribs.
What I'm thinking, is there anything like they might just be like Blood Bowl, like
Yes.
the undead participate in that too. So why
Yes.
not
It's
Eox?
true. It's true. Victor could get into Blood Bowl, though he doesn't. Not with people actually dying though.
Heads up, my IP changed because internet.
Well, Angelic Merkel has come down with a divine sword and decreed it thus.
They say that whenever she slays a demon,
Yes,
the IP of
IP
German
change.
changes.
It's true.
And
It's
then
true.
pulls out a stein of beer.
We have now slain the demon. You can change the holy
always
engrams that protect the
October in
networks.
And Sheep was so blessed with 2 IP adjustments on this
Yeah.
day.
Ah, yes. The high heavens are saved for another day.
On the 7th day, there was
Celebrations,
no internet.
IP addresses for
Rest.
everyone.
So
Yeah.
so back to the terrifying ambassador who could crush us all at but a whim.
Yeah, he wills it, and we are just reduced to atoms.
Our souls are
we,
like
we have
sucked
our
bodily
seats
from
in
our...
fine mahogany
No, do
before
they-
the steepled finger Eoxian ambassador.
Greetings, mortals.
Do not touch that. It's my phylactery.
Uh,
I salvaged that from the death of 1,000 worlds.
I was about to ask a perception check from Telos as he investigates the chair.
Sure.
Roll to DM.
The chair looks like a chair. It does, in fact, look like real wood, even, which is not very common.
Yeah, it's
At least
pricey.
not on Epsilon Station.
Mhm.
It's either imported or this even looks very similar to the actual trees grown in the eye.
I don't suppose that the Oxian planet has any forests.
Wood?
No.
Oh, Deadwood. Get the fuck out, Manaki. Oh. The session is over.
It's done. I'm gonna leave.
You
And
can't start the show with a showstopper.
yeah.
I think Sheep's internet connection may have gone again.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, if I disconnect from the server, I'm gonna go get some food in the microwave real fast.
Because it screeched to a robotic halt.
Someone is maybe found sheep's phylactery.
I'm pretty sure after what happened last week, this does not bode well for Sheep's current attitude.
No, I feel bad actually about what happened last week. I was like, that sucks. It's happened to me once.
Well, let's hope and dream.
Happened to me as well.
Yep.
Fucking Eoxians brought it into the campaign.
Yeah,
I
know,
like
exactly.
I like though that Sheep said that no computer problems would stop him from from the session, and then his internet just melts.
Yeah,
That'll do
you
it.
He jinxed it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go stick some food in the microwave.
No cataclysmic computer crash can stop me now. Well, that's not true.
That is actually, well, the demons are back. Clearly.
Yeah. Well, she will continue her eternal crusade until they are all gone.
Head Chancellor, the demons are back.
You know who we need in a situation like this? I-Pope.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I-Pope in front of the Eoxian ambassador. I think it's a good idea.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that is what we... No.
Power politics with I-Pope.
Oh my god.
Remember when he threw that thing into the
Oh yeah, he fucking douchebag. Fucking asshole.
It serves us right after the lewd session.
Well,
So, according to my IP address, there are many demons.
Yeah. As I said,
the
she will
incursion
continue.
is very strong this time, but we
Jake
shall
stepped
persevere.
away to put some food in the microwave.
Sheep, the server says someone has taken my name.
I'm starting a new server.
Okay.
Try again.
Manaki is already connected, you liar. I'm like, well, I have a good
Angelic
information that
Merkel
it's
is
not.
taking direct control over this session.
She needs to call up Blackstaff.
Oh yeah, I went to open the Windows tab. I forgot that
Buckethead.
there was a fucking Draw Explorer. That's right, this crazy new world. Didn't know Ambassador Nor here would fucking send us into a time warp.
It's Groundhog Day, except with skeletons.
Oh my god.
We're gonna live through starting this session over and over again, but we can never get past this
An
point.
undead Pescatoni Phil is gonna call
Off
out.
the distance,
like,
you see
hello.
the mammoth Gothic architecture of the Acheron embassy.
We are to die and rise again for eternity.
It's like the sepulchral architecture, the gargoyles mounted at the either ends of the doorway.
Those come alive when they're under attack.
The lugubrious skeletons escort us deeper into the log cabin.
Yes, lugubrious. That's a word I don't hear every day. I love it.
Not the word that Chief said, but we'll go for it, since she'll teach him something new along with sepulchral.
Mm-hmm. Sepulchral.
That's such a good word.
Sepulchral, yeah.
I think I've heard it a few times before in Fall from Heaven 2.
There's in Tearsfall Glades in World of Warcraft. There's the sepulcher. There's one.
It sounds like a word you would only use in the context of a role-playing game.
It's
Nerd thing.
I got
Yeah.
I got asked by when I was in being in my education to become a teacher. I did some of my on-field practice months. I did with another lady who was she was going to be an English teacher, and I frequently knew more words than she, but it was words that were very much fantasy oriented, like sepulcher or conflagration or stuff like that. She's like, "Why do you know this?" And I'm like, "I play a lot of
I'm a nerd.
play a lot of games, and read a lot of fantasy books, and then you know things like this all of a sudden."
I get around,
No, I have hobbies.
Despotism.
Conflagration.
Yes. Lich's phylactery.
Implosion.
I'm pretty sure that these future
Snipe.
Eoxians don't use phylacteries, like space
Lugubrious.
lactery or some shit.
They have uploaded them all to a central phylactery
This
in the
planet is
cloud.
my phylactery. Or I sent it as a comet through the universe.
I mean, where did these guys come from?
That came from Eox. Like, supposedly, like, some great calamity, like, transpired there, some awful disaster, and the only way the original Eoxians were fucking surviving is if they did shit like this. That's what the Starfinder book said, like, what little information they provided on the various things.
And then they were like, when you ask them, they look you into the eye and says, "You will know in time." Then they say nothing more, and you're like, "Well, I guess we will."
Well, when
That's
you're
fine,
being
then.
looked in the eye by fucking, like, green pinpricks of light.
You're like,
Yeah.
sure.
It doesn't matter what he says, it translates to when the dark stars pass the path.
Alright, with Jake back, perhaps we are ready to progress at this mahogany desk.
Perhaps. Well, I think I was talking about chairs, but I think I was done.
Yeah.
So, as even Talos seats himself, Ambassador Nor will say, "Thank you for agreeing to meet with me and accepting the responsibility of helping me in this very annoying case of diplomacy. But it is important that the matter is settled, as the station, I fear, will shake itself apart if the rumors continue to grow. Now, before, however, we get to the actual matter at hand, I, as ambassador on this station, have a certain privilege that I myself rarely get to use. You see, ambassadors often get gifts. However, these gifts are usually of a consumable nature. Some are made as a deliberate insult, others out of ignorance. However, I have enjoyed the practice of instead offering my guests these treats. I would like to offer you a drink, perhaps, if you are thirsty.
He
Tasselis
just wants to see my mouth.
She's always up for a drink.
Tasselis will agree?
Yeah, sure.
Seems
Yeah,
rude to say
sure,
no, right?
ambassador.
You are
Now-
most gracious?
I've recently been given a rather large quantity of something called Darapab, a Triaxian recipe, I believe, gifted to me by one of the few true dragons left in the universe. It is supposed to be a fairly strong alcohol, but as far as I'm aware, not poisonous. It also, I believe, has fairly magical properties, but it is a consumable to be consumed as, he shrugs, entertainment, I suppose.
I am beyond such things. Like, I mean, it seems rude to say no.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you
that
can
is one of those
assume that
things like, what the
entertaining
hell am I going to
alcohol,
do? Like,
Yeah, it's like,
no.
yes, one of the last true dragons gave this to me. Now I'm offering it to you, and if you
Let's
say no,
let's hope it's not the insult variety.
yeah,
Alternatively, perhaps particularly interesting for a Vesk, is a delicacy from Castrovel. Squeezed racinaire, it is called. The racinaire is a carnivorous plant, and the juice is made by taking it and whatever it has recently consumed and crushed into a thick juice.
Sure, why not?
It usually contains more than a little meat, hence why I'm offering. Alternatively, of course, if you're not feeling adventurous, and I do not want to push these exotic drinks on you, I have more standard things as well. Whiskey. Perhaps?
No, I'll have the squeezed plant thing. I'm a Vesk.
I mean, I'll try the dragon drink, I guess.
yeah. I'll try the plant thing actually.
People said that the dragon drink was fun, but if something for Vesks, then Victor feels like
Thaddeus just
He has
sits
to
over there
represent,
moody
you know?
with the whiskey. Like, doesn't like try anything exotic.
I don't trust the world. Something lizardman.
Whiskey in his cup noodle.
As Ambassador Nor will nod and say, "Please excuse me then, I shall fetch the drinks. It should not take long." As he will enter a wall that slides open, not the same one that the janitor came from, that door revealing a bit more of the cabin-like look of another room, leaving you alone for a little bit.
The moment he walks away, Tasselis telepathically communicates with the rest of the party, basically the equivalent of "what the fuck," and the Eoxian ambassador is personally serving us drinks.
Victor will look to him and say, "Do you think we can have only one?"
I now understand why they're good diplomats. It's like they impose themselves on you so subtly.
No, this is great. I just feel like this is a chance. I never had this. Squeeze. No, have I had the dragon brew? So, if you guys don't like the one you get,
Tasselis looks over at Victor and says, "Well, speaking out loud here, because it's a question asked out loud, says, well, Big Red, perhaps whatever payment that will be rendered for whatever service we perform can be provided not in credits, but in beverage."
Well, there's a limit, but it just seemed rude to ask.
Tasselis shrugs like, well, what would a Vesk do if he treats you as a Vesk? Be upfront about it, right? What's the worst that he could do? Say no?
I suppose that's what a Vesk would do.
Yo, dog, how much plant juice you got?
Meanwhile, Tasselis is like, would not ever fucking impose on you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to sit here.
Victor was not saying anything immediately because he wanted to see if this guy was a fan. So then he wanted to give him the honor of playing the character, but clearly he isn't.
Yeah, I mean, Telos is just confused about this whole situation. The ambassador is, as you pointed out, rightly serving us drinks, which is odd, but Telos thinks that he is certainly trying to win us over, so maybe he is debasing himself a little bit here to
Tasselis doesn't know. He blanked out because Grimith ended up disconnecting during the conversation with the Astral Collections lady. Astral Extractions, excuse me.
Yeah.
Who ordered what?
Squeezed plant juice.
Dragon wine.
Plant juice.
Dragon wine.
Okay, 2
Whiskey
plant
for
juice.
Thaddeus.
Yeah, Thaddeus just drinks normal stuff, apparently. He's boring.
The strongest whiskey that...
Last time I was at Venture, there was something about...
He's in a mood. He just he wants to get off the station. That's probably what it is. Like, whatever.
Get a ship.
Isn't that a song lyric? The strongest whiskey Kentucky can make?
Why the hell are you asking a large group of Europeans and me whether that's a song lyric?
Songs
Kentucky
are global.
is a type of chicken.
After a minute or two, Ambassador Nor returns. Behind him, a gaggle of skeletal servants, each carrying a single drink. Although 2 of the servants are carrying large bucket-like pint glasses. Is that the word? Like huge glasses, like bucket size, that they position in front of you. The buckets apparently containing what he called the Darapab, the dragon juice, whereas the squeeze plant is served in a rather more humble container, as in a normal glass. As Ambassador No will say, of course I do not expect you to drink all of it, but as far as I've been told, it is near blasphemy to offer anything less than that amount to anyone. It would be construed as an insult if I did. supposedly, anyway. Whatever is left over, you can take with you in more appropriate containers.
I don't think Tasselis has anything other to say than express heartfelt gratitude.
Yeah, I got a glass
like-
with squeezed plant stuff with meat chunks and such. Victor hopes for a short moment. This is not people. Hearing about Casterville and such, it could be people, but he guesses that if this is what Vesks drink, then apparently Vesks can eat people. So he learns something new about himself every day.
Yeah. Maedar tried it because it was very adventurous, and he likes to learn things.
Victor will drink a little bit, try to get one of the meat chunks as well.
Tasselis looks over at Telos and then looks at the buckets they've got.
He also looks at the bucket, is happy he didn't get a bucket, and then he will take a careful sip on his dragon wine.
We have the buckets.
Dragon wine is buckets.
We have the
Yeah.
buckets.
Oh,
The bucket of dragon juice.
oh. He looks at the bucket.
Yes, we are the ones with the bucket.
Just lift it up and pour it down again. Okay, fine.
I mean,
I guess,
Can a
if
robot
it
even
served,
enjoy
if
dragon
it was a gift from a dragon.
Victor has like a what's it called, like a pipe with a funnel at top with him at all times.
Oh yeah.
You can have one of those if you need it.
Do a keg stand on the dragon juice.
I need a twisty straw.
Now, to the matter at hand, I think. I believe you've at least been informed about the gist of what you are supposed to do for me. It is strange, or at least was initially, that it would be astral extractions approaching you and suggesting you especially to me. However, in retrospect, it is a rather fascinating move by them. If they lose this negotiation, they might at least regain some of their tarnished reputation, since they included the rather well-respected Starfinder Society in the decision, who they too scorned with their action. Of course, if they win, they win.
Tasselis puts down a drink. Ambassador, just so that we, like gesturing towards the group, are clear and that we did not hear anything different from astral extractions, could you tell us what it is that you expect from us?
Of course. I need you to find out precisely what happened to the Acheron and its crew, to ascertain whatever valuables might be on the ship and the asteroid, and to find proof that will finally silence the rumor-mongering media about whether this drift rock is truly mysterious or not. You will be paid for this, of course. 600 credits per head. I am willing to pay half of that upfront in case you wish to use it to purchase whatever you need for this expedition. Please excuse my dogs in background.
Log cabin wouldn't be complete without dogs, right?
Yeah.
Tasselis looks over at Telos like, what the fuck? He's got dogs, dude?
Well,
Telos takes a sip from the
And
bucket.
they're like some nasty Eoxian dogs too, like the death boat.
What does it taste like, Sheep, the bucket drink?
Like very strong alcohol with a sort of taste, a metallic taste almost, as if they were like itty bitty pieces of some sort of soft and easily melting metal, like chocolate, but tasting like melting like chocolate, but tasting like metal.
So it's blood.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm like, is this blood, Sheep? Is
I mean, if your expression is one of confusion about the drink's consistency, nor will provide. I believe that the drink is special in that it is mostly diluted alcohol. However, the main ingredient is a specially prepared dragon scale that is either melted or, I believe, melted through chemical means.
He just looks down at the bucket, takes another tentative sip. I mean, maybe. It's a quiet taste, I guess. I will need this in like a flask or something, to go. Like a
Oh yeah, like
water skin. Or
You probably need
something.
like
You ever need-
17 flasks.
yeah. If you ever need some like courage, just have a sip of dragon scale.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that what the ambassador conveyed, from as far as I remember from last session, what I missed seems to be what the management representatives of Astral Extractions conveyed.
Pretty
We're
much.
going to be sent here basically for the ambassador, who seems to be the mediator in this dispute between the Hardscrabble Collective and Astral Extractions, to go on there, see what the hell is going on, and then find any information that could solve this mystery.
Yes.
Yeah, it is worth noting for context that the Eoxian ambassador getting involved in a conflict is not at all unusual. They often get involved if conflicts don't seem to solve themselves.
Victor likes. He will work for this guy. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I do not have my own ship I can provide you. However, I have borrowed one from station security. There are, however, some details you have to be aware of before you can embark on your mission. First of all, you will not be the first ones who wish to touch down on the Acheron and its asteroid. There have been 2 recorded transgressions past the quarantine. Both, however, have ended in the ships being destroyed. We are unsure if there are any survivors, nor do I have to honestly say, does station security care much whether there are survivors to be rescued, or they have broken the quarantine and are no longer allowed to leave under any circumstance, if they have indeed made it to the Acheron. We have tried to find out what is in the asteroid as well as on the Acheron. However, the station's sensors are having trouble understanding what they are presumably sensing. The Acheron is, well, there are no life signs, to be sure. However, the sensors are fluctuating. They are, in addition, detecting a rather rare material in significant quantities on the ship, a metal called noqual. Very rare, I'm told, although, of course, geology and metals are not my specialty. But the odd thing is that the noqual levels on the ship are inconsistent, as if fluctuating. They, for a few weeks, have been increasing, but now recently have suddenly fallen again. I have yet to talk to a scientist who can make sense of it, but I assume that a trip into the ship will shine light on that particular matter. For your mission, you do have to be aware that it is not only a physical quarantine that has been built up around the ship, it is also blocked. That's not a sentence. Transmissions from and to the ship are also being blocked. I believe the fear was some sort of hostile AI, perhaps, but I am pretty sure that the station security simply took the rumors floating about the station too seriously. Although that said, considering, at least in my memory, recent events, you can never be too safe with these things. It does, however, mean that I will not be able to communicate with you, but there's one thing that station security allowed me to do. I will provide you with a small observer robot who will record as well as transmit whatever you see, hear, and of course do to me. That stream not only will be used to show both factions, both parties, that what you did was proper and that you did not tamper with evidence, but it will also be transmitted to the station as a whole to sate the curious masses. Of course, with a delay in case there are sensitive informations of the ship that could potentially endanger people. That video stream, however, will be the only transmission allowed to leave the ship.
Will it be shown live? With a delay and such, but...
Live, yes. However, there will be a perhaps 1 to 2 hour delay on it to allow me to, if absolutely needed, edit the feed so that it is suitable for public consumption.
Victor nods. He knows he has to go in character for this then.
Now, the shuttle you will be boarding is called the Hippocampus and ready to leave whenever you are ready. Do you have any questions for me still?
Not really, no. I mean...
I don't think Tasselis has any questions for the ambassador, although he is uneasy now, more so than what he was.
The whole thing seemed really ominous, no communication, but the fact that we have like a robot's going to be sending it all, Victor's manager's going to love this.
Means we can't lift any
This is really a chance to get on the big screen, and he just has to go for it in that respect.
Now, I am surprised at your satisfaction, because there's one important detail I could just not stop myself from keeping quiet to see your reaction. You will, of course, have the limited rights of first salvage to anything that you do not consider to be evident. The ship itself and the asteroid itself, however, are, of course, off limits, as they are the subjects of this dispute.
If we find survivors in there, they're not allowed to come back here, so what are we supposed to do with them?
I do not expect survivors to be present on the ship, but in that rare case, you... Pause for a moment. You would officially have to wait. However, returning to the station, while station security would think otherwise, is your own decision.
What I heard from that was, you're adults, make your own choice.
What is the... And I might have missed it earlier, so I'm not going to ask it in character just yet, but what is the official, legal status of these survivors? They tried to, illegally enter the ship, right?
Yeah.
So
The
they're not,
legal
they're
status...
quarantined to the ship.
Right.
Yeah. Not only are they in the quarantine now, meaning they are not allowed to leave, they also broke a rather important law. And what exactly their legal status would be, you don't know, but station security probably wants them.
Okay. Actually, thinking about this, I'm not going to say this right now, but just as a bit of foreshadowing, because Tass is going to think about this, and I'm going to convey this to you folks later, is that we're going into a quarantine zone.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing so legally.
Yeah, we're being exempted from the quarantine.
Hopefully.
But to say that
Now you can never,
the
ever
hacking
leave.
thing, yeah.
The last group have entered the Thunderdome!
like my character's not going to say it to the ambassador because in part he's terrified of the ambassador, but he's
Victor's
thinking about
not
it.
going to think that far.
I mean, we are completely disposable to these people.
But if they do it, they're going to dispose of us on somewhat live TV.
That's not gonna. Abaddon Corp is gonna be like, that's enough.
I mean, the bot could be destroyed.
It self-destructs as soon as we get in.
Thank you for your
Okay.
cooperation. Good night.
So yes, Tasselis dips a bit more into the drink, like to try and assuage his fears.
Victor's chewing on some persistent piece of meat that was in there. He's not really used to raw meat. It's very... but he's not... He doesn't show it. He acts as this... Oh yeah, of course he eats this all the time.
Right,
He's a
of
Vesk.
first
He's hardcore.
salvage and 600 credits each, half up front. It's very, very compelling argument for us to help this mediator resolve this dire issue.
Yeah.
Not
How
to forget
could we
about
say
the
no?
exposure.
No, we can't say no.
I guess as Victor just says, we'll do it.
Very good. Very good. Now, Nor says as he once again steeples his fingers, there's one additional detail that I'd like to ask your help with. Among its other cargo, the Acheron was carrying a package destined for this very embassy. Of course, with the ship being quarantined, the package has been undeliverable. I've been eagerly awaiting its arrival, and I'd consider it a personal favor if you could find the package and bring it to me when you return to the station. It's clearly marked, so I don't imagine it will be too difficult to find. I would, of course, pay this favor handsomely, I do believe, for an additional 500 credits per head.
Or his one-day Amazon delivery.
To further compound whatever interest or suspicions we might have.
Yeah, like we find the box and it's like, yes, the Eoxian embassy, this is it. This is the package. And you like touch it and it's like fucking rattling.
Like, Tasselis, I guess, will just blink in confusion. Like, perhaps I just misunderstood the situation, Ambassador. The idea of, like, the Acheron having come back from the drift with this asteroid and also carrying a package for the embassy?
It is not unusual for many people to hire ships that have routes that coincide with certain destinations to bring things with them. In this unfortunate case, however, the ship never quite made it back to Epsilon Station. It has delivered a few packages for me before.
So you don't know what's in there?
Oh, of course, I know what I'm expecting. It is, however, of no relevance.
Does it break easily?
It should be sturdy enough.
I suppose it's like in some sort of...
It should be a relatively large crate, although moving said crate should not be a problem, as the Acheron currently does not have any artificial gravity, nor atmosphere, which is probably a detail that interests you. Preliminary scans, however, show that its life support systems, as well as other support systems, could be reactivated should you reach the bridge, which may make your actual purpose of investigating the Acheron slightly easier, since you would no longer be required to wear your bulky suits.
Then if your expected delivery is on board the Acheron Ambassador, we shall find it and recover it for you.
Very good. Very good.
Tasselis takes another drink.
Now, as soon as you are satisfied by your drinks, I will, of course, repackage the remaining liquid into something more portable for you.
Tasselis stands up, bows, and is like, "Well, Ambassador, you're very busy. We have a job to do. You have plenty of time. It's probably best that we get a move on with this and handle whatever purchasing we need to take care of."
He nods, snipping his bony fingers once in an eerie replica of, I can't even do that, I'm sweating too much. As the same or different, who knows, skeletal servants emerge again, carrying your drinks with them as Ambassador follows them, and after a few moments returns with convenient, what's the word? Canisters, I guess.
To-go cups.
They have like a sturdy lid made out of metal, presumably to either keep things cold or keep things hot. That I hand it to you. Although they do each have the little engraving of property of the Eoxian embassy.
They have to be returned.
Wow, gifts.
It's like a gift shop
Yeah,
thing.
gift shop things. It's like, exit through the gift shop, I guess.
It has a date written as on a gravestone.
I don't think they're going to care about whether we return these things. I think we're good.
Sure, I'll add it to my character sheet here.
If not returned within 3 days, they will self-destruct.
Dealing 1d6 negative energy damage.
Yeah.
I've added valuable dragon drink to my inventory.
Yeah, the name of that drink, if you care.
Squeezed juice.
Terrapap. The other one is...
Yes, the famous squeezed fruit juice.
From the jungles of Casterville, apparently a carnivorous plant.
Yeah, it eats things, and then you squeeze it and get juice.
And keep in mind that the planet has titanic life forms on it, megafauna, megaflora.
Yeah. No. He's heard the stories.
The plant might be as big as a Vesk.
Yeah. So might its prey.
I hope it ate Formians. I hope that's a Formian. That'd make me happy.
Something too hard, like drinks and crunches, whatever's in there.
I mean, carnivorous plants eat insects. Just so happens that this one eats a bigger insect.
There's always a bigger insect.
Yes. Well, with our fancy to-go cups, then, probably with a bit of pep in his step, Tasselis leaves the Eoxian embassy.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess we get our front payment.
You sure do.
Yay, money!
You may wish to buy something. I gave you one of my serums, Manaki, which means I don't think you have, you have one left?
Healing serums? I don't think so. Just check my sheet here. Got some antitoxin, but no healing stuff.
Do you still have the antitoxin? The fruit, I know, is something that you folks ate to recover from being fatigued.
I have one antitoxin.
All right, because you have 2 servings, because you are special.
Yeah. I am special.
Yes.
How much were these healing serums?
Well, a Mark 1 healing serum would be 50 credits each, like a potion of cure light wounds or whatever. I don't fucking know how much it would cost. 50 credits is how much it costs here, though, in Starfinder.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a bunch of those.
I guess it's just a general question. I don't, perhaps just due to the amount of time that has passed between sessions, I'm unsure of what would be useful to bring along. to this situation where there's no artificial gravity or no breathable atmosphere. God, do you have any basic spacefaring 101 guidance here?
For what specifically?
The hellscape that we're going to enter. Yes, what would be recommended for entering into a location with no breathable atmosphere or no artificial gravity?
Okay, no breathable atmosphere is most likely not going to be an issue because all of you are wearing armor, which automatically protects you from that.
Right, but assuming we take any damage in combat, that renders that. Does that render the whole vacuum of our suits or armor moot?
No. Armor is sturdy enough to survive anything that doesn't directly try to destroy the armor.
Okay.
So it would have to be very deliberate.
So we don't have to buy repair kits or anything. That's one concern I had. Okay.
No, you do not. Something you, however, will have to worry about is moving without gravity. There are a couple rules about that, which I'm trying to find. It's presumably under movement and position. Where is it? I was supposed to look this up before.
I understand things happen. But it'll be our first time actually interacting and possibly fighting in a 0G environment, which is why I thought to ask.
Yeah. 0G. No. There we go. 0G. Movement in zero gravity is not the same as flight. Controlled movement is difficult without some form of propulsion, and creatures without something to push off from often find themselves floating aimlessly. A creature in zero gravity environment can't take move actions to move its speed, crawl, or take a guarded step. If a creature is adjacent to or in the same square as an object, or another creature one size category smaller than itself, it can take a move action to push off that object, moving at half its speed in a direction of its choosing. So you can't move, but you can push yourself off walls.
For half our movement speed.
For half your movement, which of course will continue in the next rounds as you have speed and won't randomly slow down.
Damn you, non-friction!
So, what is there an affordable option for jetpacks or something similar to counteract this?
There is an armor upgrade that is called jump jets, which might be what you're looking for. If you have an armor upgrade slots and enough money, I believe you can buy one of those.
However, a jet or jump jets. Well, there's jump jets and there's a jet pack.
Yeah, jump jets are the smaller version. Jump jets require are a level 2 item, which you could buy. I'm not sure if they require a level 2 armor.
I'm going to get 4 of those health serums.
Yeah.
Okay.
The jetpack would be out of our reach, though, because it's a level 5 item.
Yeah, level 5, that's not easily purchasable.
Most things out of our reach, really.
We don't have the contacts on Absalom Station to acquire a jetpack.
And when we talk about it, they wrinkle their noses and turn away.
But yeah, jump jets essentially in 0G give you a flight speed of 30 feet.
All right, I'll guess I'll get that. That seems useful.
That would be, how much does it cost? It costs
1,000 credits.
Yep.
God.
It fits in one slot.
Oof.
Well, we certainly got enough money that your character would have the.
It's doable, certainly.
Can you take it out again of the thing?
Let's see.
Of the armor, or is it stuck to the shit armor we have?
Armor upgrades. A creature can personalize armor by purchasing and installing armor upgrades. Described below. Some individuals keep a collection of upgrades at hand, swapping them out as needed, requiring 10 minutes to replace the unit and resecure connection. So yes, you can switch them out.
Good.
Luckily, I'm an android. I can install this into myself.
Now you already have like an upgrade installed in yourself that we found at some point, right? Like the
Yes, there was
Okay.
a something or other. Let me see.
it was something that we found in the Fusion Queen, I think.
Yes, what was that? Let's see here.
I didn't remember.
The quick draw sheet.
Quick release sheath. Yeah.
And it also says on the jump jets that this upgrade can only be installed in light or heavy armor. I don't know if that matters, or if that's specifically for...
I believe androids count as light armor.
Okay.
And this might have been said already. I was looking at things that weren't Reddit just to clarify any.
Okay, what's your question?
Nobody said that, Jake.
You were thinking it. Anyway, so the item level, does that have to be put in an item, like for this jump jets, does it have to be put in a level 2 item, or if we're level 2?
The level in this case only means availability. I'm
Okay.
almost entirely sure. So you can purchase level 2 things without issue. You could purchase level 3 things without issue. Level 4 things require connections to an appropriate person.
Okay. Got it.
I will get some jump jets installed into myself.
Okay.
Now, the same is not true for like those weapon upgrade things. Like you have to have like a weapon that's of the same level as like whatever weapon upgrade thing you want to put in it. Those bastards limiting the weapons.
So if we don't have jump jets, how do we move in zero G?
We basically I'm sure like any ship would be designed with like grapple things to like in case like artificial gravity fails, like you would just like grab your way along the wall like handholds.
Yeah, you would either go alongside of a wall or push yourself off a wall and float.
Are there any magnetic boots in Starfinder?
I've been looking. I don't think so.
That seems like something we need to get on, folks. So we can make a killing here.
Magnetism, yeah.
Sell that idea to a corporation like Astral Extraction.
Actually, magnetism is heresy in Starfinder, and you will be killed immediately.
Heresy.
Well, the materials used might just not be magnetic. They are far beyond just using iron or steel. That's for like lab spaceships.
We have left the mag boots behind a long time ago.
Technology is so advanced.
Well, it's like, you know, it's a similar problem here. They're not expecting to run into this problem. Like, if an apocalypse hit right now, I would be hard pressed to make a fire, you know? So it's the same thing here. Like, they're like magnets. Like, why would you need that? That's so ancient. And it seems I got kicked out of the Discord. Give me a sec. And I will try to reconnect, I guess. Let's see here. Go away, Discord. Yes. Oh, Firefly. Firefly was great. So it's a show with a decent heart. Not really any budget, but they sure tried. They sure tried their best.
Welcome back.
Seems like a not good place for me to be, but you know, I have all you guys to take care of things, so it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be our first 0G situation.
Yeah.
Seriously though, we need to work on that needs to be like a campaign goal. Magnetic boots.
Mag boots.
mean, yeah, Victor will do what he can to help invent magnetic boots. He'll wear normal boots and get used to that. Yeah. I'll just buy the 4 serum things. I'm done.
I'm not gonna buy maybe a couple serums.
Yeah. I still see I'm down a resolve point and such. Have we slept? Is that a thing that we've done?
Presumably, enough time has passed, but with our travel from the desert planet to here, that would have recovered.
All right, and I'll just heal myself.
I'll buy 3 serums.
I do not have any purchases in which I wish to engage at this time.
Okay.
And Jonas has some fucking jump jets built into his body.
It's gonna be
Bullshit.
Yep.
I mean, they're useful.
Very.
Like flight for
Huh.
move phase is not bad.
Yeah, like can't argue with that. Part of a move action, in order to fly during your movement, you can fly up to 30 feet, average maneuverability, with a maximum height of 10 feet, or you can fly up to 20 feet straight up. You must land at the end of your move action. Jump jets can't lift you if you're encumbered.
It's that little from Guardians of the Galaxy. He uses like jump jets to fly over that little gap.
It's got a capacity of 20 and uses 2 units per action.
You do it 10 times before they have to reload.
It's pretty good.
All right. If you're ready to head out, you can leave the. You're allowed to leave the embassy. And the shuttle is waiting for you at a conveniently placed landing bay somewhere nearby.
Landing beer.
Hippocampus or whatever.
Hippocampus.
Hippocampus.
Is the observation droid waiting for us there?
Yes. It's basically a fist-sized floating thing.
Great.
Vaguely ball-like with some antennae and propellers and those things.
Can you hack the feed and just send like Vesk porn like through a Tila?
I think this point's too gory for the general population.
Well, it would go straight to the ambassador first. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't let that go to live feed.
Yeah, we didn't know that was one on the ship.
I can't much say I care for a chaperone, but I mean, I don't really think we got a choice. I guess we do. I guess we could just shoot it.
I mean, yeah, we could destroy it.
Bring the bot. It's cool. People see how awesome
I mean, Vic will be so sad if we do.
Besides, it's like it's here to find evidence and whatnot, and to show both parties that the things are fair. Basically, it's there because they won't just take our word for how things went.
Well, it's not just going to be shown to them. Like, as the ambassador noted, like, this is also going to be eventually be shown to, like, everyone on Absalom Station who wants to watch. Like, this is what you people were afraid of.
It's going to be like 5 minutes of advertisements every 10 minutes.
It's going to be funny if we died at the first encounter that we find on there, and like the ambassador's like, oh.
That'd be great.
Can't show this.
No.
Just like massive synthetic death moths, yeah.
How? So this was just like some sort of like shuttle? This vessel? Like a little transport shuttle? Is that what we're getting on here, God? Like what is like how big is it? Like what is it?
It's a shuttle. It's a tiny ship that looks like it had a weapon strapped to it at some point.
So marginally bigger, perhaps, than what we came here, like, on Absalom Station on in Session 1?
Marginally smaller, even.
Okay.
It doesn't have any amenities, really. It has seats.
Well, So we're not really supposed to stay in it for any length of time. I hope.
So it has seats, no weaponry.
It does have weapons. A weapon.
Well, that's good. Surely
it-
we would not have any problems at all because, I mean, this
But-
place that we're going to is literally.
Yeah.
Right?
It
Just
does
stick a bit
not.
of food and water in here too. Just in
It does
case.
not have a drift engine, as it is basically a shuttle used to mostly ferry passengers back and forth from ships too large to dock at the station. It's a very, very low-range shuttle.
I can't imagine Thaddeus then is that enthused about the situation, but he'll have to make do.
Yeah, the flight time to the quarantine zone should be longer than maybe half an hour to an hour, even in the tiny shuttle.
Are we
so
live
it's really just a
already? Like,
short trip.
do we have to have like a warm-up show or something on?
So,
'Cause-
yeah. They play the intro song.
Mhm.
See, the problem is that Victor doesn't know when the feed is actually going to start.
There's a
You don't
lamp,
know whether it's
probably.
recorded. It could be
I
going.
imagine there's like a red blinking
Yeah,
light.
it's a little red light. Like, beep.
Well, if this thing is being sent by ambassador, you don't know when there's blinking light.
I trust the horrible Lich ambassador.
You say the robot looking at you.
So you might have to be in character the entire time.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you might have to. Which means he's going to be dark and brooding. Yet,
Are you going to prep? Is Victor going to prep us on this before we get to the show?
Or is he just
yeah,
gonna
as we
start
go there, he's
roaring?
like, so if there's a camera, and I'll try to stay quiet most of the time. You see, I really don't want to disappoint the fans. So during this, my character is supposed to currently be sort of a bad guy, but he was defeated, and he's trying to learn why and how to become a better person, because that's the only way he can. It's a long story. You could watch it. It's all on DVD, space DVD.
Telos looks at him
But,
with just incredulous.
I
It's
might
like, what?
I might be a little meaner than usual, and maybe talk a little less.
What
so
should
just
we
go with
call
it.
you, Big Red?
Well, not Victor. I don't actually have a new stage name, so Red or Red Terror would be preferable. If you really want to ham it up, then perhaps even like Boss would work.
Telos shakes his head. He's not going to call Victor boss.
Tasselis blinks. All right, Boss Red.
Oh no, not boss.
No,
Red.
yeah.
Telos looks over to Maedar.
Then he puts on his
Maedar
helmet
Crossing
and
all
doesn't
his
take it off.
So does his helmet have like an angry shark face or something on it?
It has like it's like it has like these red marks that are like savage symbols of like just jagged stuff and whatnot.
Oh sure.
Like a red alert zeppelin.
Oh sure. Yeah. Rawr.
Like big shark teeth and stuff. Sort of a bit, just overdone, really.
Yeah, but you know what you
is
should
the whole-
get? You should get like a cape made out of like fur or something.
Yeah, but it's really
Oh,
impractical,
yes.
the fights.
Oh
Like
yeah.
some
You can
kind of-
see the legwork, but yeah, he also has to. This is part of his transformation. Remember, he'll come back as like the Red Redeemer, something like that, for the new arc. But he's got to go do heroic stuff first, and that is
course.
being seen. That's like perfect. He'll also send a message to his manager, like, "Hey, check the Oxen ambassador is going to have me investigate that one ship." So,
Yeah, just
You know,
send him
might
a link
wanna get
to
on
the
that.
Space Twitch channel.
well, he gets a head start to know because he'll hype up some people and whatnot. He's a good manager. He really wants what's best for Victor. Victor thinks.
Well, that's good to have such a nice manager.
Yeah, he really scouted me out back when I was just when I still went to college, space college.
He's got your back.
Yeah, when I dropped out, he was very quick to offer me an apartment and everything.
What did you study out of curiosity?
So it looks as common.
Telos nods. He's not surprised. That's what everyone studies in the beginning.
Turns out it was mostly literature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really read much, so frankly, I didn't go to most of my classes. I just sort of
Partied.
It's just, but that's what it's all about,
Mm. Nods. Telos hasn't been to any fancy universities.
My parents was not happy about the change, but they're doctor and gardener, so.
All right. The shuttle is ready. Do you wish to depart?
Definitely.
All right,
That's the
then
part.
copy your tokens. I'll grab Thaddeus.
Whoa!
Who's probably not very excited about the shuttle because it's quite boring. I don't even have a picture for it.
He'll just make loops and shit, just for the hell of it.
Actually, there's no need to copy the tokens quite yet.
Like, I imagine there's no real pilot even involved. It's just like that way.
Yeah. The hardest bit of the entire trip will be undocking and weaving through the armada of ships outside, but the rest is easy going.
So go ahead, Manaki.
The other ships that went here illegally, they got blown up, yes?
They got Ambassador Nord didn't know the details. They were destroyed, certainly, but that does not mean that someone could have ejected and perhaps traveled to the asteroid or the ship via some sort of jetpack.
Do we see the wreckage of them? Like, did they get to the ship?
No, the wreckage would have most likely just drifted.
Okay.
And if it collided with the asteroid, there's probably not much left of it.
All right. So, but basically, there's not another ship nearby or any wreckage. Then. All right.
There are some ships nearby at a significant distance, although, which are station security. 2 medium-sized, mean-looking ships just sort of floating about. Of course, dwarfed by the actual huge flagships in the Armada, but there's basically 2 guards near the ship.
They'll yell if anything happens.
I have a lore-themed question here, God. Since the Armada has come up a few times before, why is Absalom Station continually ringed by this, like, instead of like a ring of like asteroid belt, it's like a massive like mammoth armada? Like, are the Pact Worlds at war with anyone right now?
They are not at war. The Armada is not necessarily there for defense. That is mostly a coincidence that if the station is attacked, the Armada will defend it. They are mostly like RVs. They park there, get all the amenities of the station, but don't have to pay taxes.
Oh, okay.
It's like
but it's just called
shantytown, basically.
So it's like called the Armada, but it's not like Armada, like a military, like.
It's not military at all. Well, part of it is military. There's like the Church of Yumide, which is very much a military-like organization. But the Armada is not one entity. It's a bunch of people who have decided to stay near the station because it's convenient.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that changes my perception of this completely. Good. I'm glad I asked. Well, shuttle time means Tasselis story time!
Yeah, man.
Yes!
My favorite.
Telos turns on the environmental seal
Turns
on
off
his
his
suit.
ear.
Just seals the suit like. Blessed silence.
It's since Boss Red's in character. That means that Maedar's the one who gets shot down. And another thing, whenever I was studying in the Shining Jewel.
But from a distance, as you approach the quarantine zone, basically as soon as you're past the 2 guarding ships of station security, you're in the zone that is effectively the quarantine zone. You are, of course, not harassed by them. at all. One of the ships does seem to give your shuttle a quick scan, but that's about it. The Acheron is a mid-sized freighter carrying a slightly bigger than itself piece of rock. It's a reddish sort of asteroid, and from a distance, not exactly remarkable. It is attached to the ship by a massive rope of some sort. Although, of course, it's not made like a normal rope. It's probably some sort of fancy metal compound. The ship, from a distance, looks completely dead. There are no lights. The engines are definitely not on. It is just a hunk of metal floating, even though it does look intact. Thaddeus will tell you that the ship's sensors can't make out much of interest. There's no atmosphere, there's no gravity, there's no power, there's no life signs. There's a whole lot of nothing. The ship seems to have 3 primary points of entry. An airlock on either side, as well as an airlock between the engines. Although Thaddeus will say that he could not dock at the airlock between the engines because the engines are in the way. It seems to be an airlock mostly meant for people to go out there and presumably travel via the long rope to whatever cargo it might be towing.
Would it be possible, and this would probably be something best served for Telos, and if necessary, Tasselis will ping him mentally, to use the shuttle sensors to scan around the asteroid itself? Like the sensors aren't getting much from the Acheron, but if perhaps there might be something coming from the asteroid.
How is the asteroid actually attached to the ship? Cables?
It is attached by a single massive cable drilled into the rock and attached. Well, not attached to the ship. It seems to be part of the ship. Towing things seems to be what the ship is made for.
Are these drills is it possible for these drills to be used as a way of entrances? Could they drill into it and then use the drill shaft to walk around inside the asteroid if they wanted?
Unlikely. It's basically the rope, the chain, whatever. It's like a, what's the word? Corkscrew?
Sure.
You sort of ram it in there. It's not exactly a drill.
All right, well, sure, I can do some censoring.
So there's no indication the asteroid is hollow?
No, it's a rock.
That's not a good sensor roll. That is a 2.
I don't even see any roll.
Oh no.
Neither do I. Dun dun dun.
Neither do I.
Dun dun dun.
Bum, bum,
Well, he said it was a 2, though.
Yeah, I got a 10, so it's not
I'll
great.
be right back.
It's a 10. No, from the distance you're currently at, the ship and the rock are basically just barely visible as fist-sized things in the sky. Scanner doesn't pick up much from the rock. Much useful, that is. It's saying, yeah, that's rock, but it's very inconsistent about what it's actually displaying. As if it's not entirely sure if it's rock, but then it is, but maybe it's not. As if the output is sort of flickering.
It's as if something is scrambling it, or has reading
sort of
readings.
like a scrambling.
Well, that is odd. Telos will poke around the sensors and be like, curious. Seems like the sensors can't really make heads or tails of it. Either it is a compound that is unknown, or something it might be scrambling the sensors.
Interesting.
Well, that's beyond our group and their stunning knowledge of physical science.
Nope.
Yeah. I do have 1 rank in physical science, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly not beyond our group, then.
Well, I only have a +3 total because I have -1 ability mod.
I'm sure you know what space scrambling rocks are.
Yeah, well, we can give it Our best college try.
You might be intimately familiar with it.
Well, Maedar might have some passing knowledge about these things. Incorrect or nonsensical sensor readings aren't entirely uncommon. It doesn't necessarily mean that something super strange is going on. It might just be some sort of unknown compound is unlikely. Perhaps some fluctuating internal energy. It's rare for asteroids to have some sort of natural power source, maybe some natural fusion reaction, something like that, could be broadcasting some sort of weird signal. It's entirely possible it's a natural thing.
I don't buy it.
No.
It is possible, but I don't buy it.
It's an asteroid literally.
Although it could be this mega metal.
I mean, it could be, but it's like an asteroid that has been supposedly found inside the warp itself. I mean, who knows what madness this brings? So I'm not trusting it for one damn second.
It's kind of hard to trust a rock anyway.
I don't like the look of it. The cut of his jib.
Yeah.
We wait for the shuttle to get closer then.
Alright. Thaddeus pilots the shuttle closer, suggesting to maybe just dock at one of the easily approachable airlocks. There's no reason to risk a fancy flying maneuver as much as he'd like to do it, to dock between the engines. Although he could, he assures you.
Oh, we don't
It's not
doubt.
beyond me.
I mean, ideally, we want to dock somewhere near the bridge, right? So we can turn on the light stuff.
Just tell Thaddeus to dock at whatever airlock he thinks is best.
All right. You will take I believe that's the starboard side then. The right side.
Yeah.
As you can put your tokens into space. As I will make a map visible.
It's an illusionary shuttle.
Center. Put them right here, which I hope you can see. Pretend that there's a shuttle. This map, I've also set up light. So, if you have a light source of some sort, tell me.
I do not, but I see in the dark.
I do, but it's my body. When I'm in solar mode, so only in combat.
Red Terror has low light, I believe.
Yeah.
Did I set
One
up?
second.
No, I did. I just need to refresh it, I guess. Oh. No? Why doesn't that work? Strange. No light, normal. That doesn't work. Let me fix that really quick. I gave everyone a very slight, natural light source, so you can at least see the adjacent squares.
See half.
That would be useful for me, because at the moment in time I can only see the inner circle of my token.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the top one of Tilo's and the corner of Tasselis.
Yeah, I don't see much either, I gotta say.
You can, if you want, you can put just a permanent 20-foot light on me, because my weapon glows in 20 feet, and I might as well always have it on if it's going to be dark.
I mean, I feel like light sources might have been one of the things we meant when we asked, what should we bring to this ship?
Probably, if you want to retroactively buy a light source, I would allow you to do that.
How much is a light source?
Well, a flashlight or a lantern cost an astounding 1 credit.
Yeah, there's a couple different types. A flashlight has a conal shape, a cone. A lantern has much shorter range.
Ideally, something I don't have to hold.
Can I get a flashlight built into Clank?
Just stick a light somewhere on my stuff.
There's probably like flashlights you can clamp onto you, or lanterns.
Your
Elite.
personal comm units that are built into like armor, because armor comes with that,
Oh yeah,
will
they have
come with
flashlights.
a flashlight, which increases the light level one step in a 15-foot cone.
There we go.
I have dark vision 60 feet, I believe.
Yeah.
With dark vision. Give you dark vision.
Sort of a 15
Although I'm worried this might reveal. No, it doesn't. I don't know why people with normal vision can't see the adjacent squares because I explicitly set that up.
I can see it with low light vision.
Yeah, I don't know why though.
I guess I should have that.
Oh, I know why. Let me try something. I really want this to work because it's fancy. There we go. Okay.
Perfect.
Now everyone can see adjacent squares.
What I'll end up having then is just a 15-foot cone from basically my comm unit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll have that, and I also my solar weapon glows in 20 feet around me.
Okay.
The commute. It's equivalent of having your phone flashlight on.
I have
Yeah.
two. Like I have one built into like my armor, and then I have like a normal one. I have like the burner phone and the serious phone.
Oh yeah, you've got your work phone and your pleasure phone.
Pleasure phone.
The way you phrase that.
You know,
See a joy
that's
phone.
how you guys want to interpret it. It's on you.
It is my pleasure.
I blame Jonas
Okay.
and his corrupting influence.
Yes,
Maedar has...
rock hard pillar of justice strikes again.
I guess I'll put on conic vision for myself. Oh, now I can only see. How do I get
No,
both?
don't put... No, keep low light. I've set that up to work that way.
Sure.
Stop picking your token. Okay, what light source do the rest have? I've given Tasselis a flashlight and Maedar a torch.
I have a flashlight.
Flashlight. Com or normal?
Com.
Okay, the com one is slightly shorter. Maedar, also flashlight?
Yeah. In
Okay,
addition.
and Telos doesn't need light, but does he have light anyways?
No.
Okay.
He's a cold, calculating night stalker.
Now, for the purposes of the conic flashlight, while we're not in initiative, if we ever reach initiative, of course, there might not be anything here. While we're not in initiative, you can point your token whatever which way. While in combat, only rotate on your turn.
Got it.
But Thaddeus, as good of a pilot as he is, will navigate to the airlock. I've revealed too much. To the airlock, which of course has no power and presumably needs to be forced open. Thaddeus will also equip himself, turning on his own flashlight, which doesn't work because I don't want to add his token. But he'll follow you. He doesn't want to sit in the safe ship while you take all the risks. But yeah, you see in front of you one airlock. And even though the map shows it being lit up, it's not.
Doop. I'll go there and open it.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Sure. It's my best attribute. But a d20 is a lot of variance, so let's see how it goes. Alright.
17. Yeah, no problem. Without power, the mechanism that locks them also doesn't work.
I was about to say, I don't know where this adventure goes if we can't open the airlock. Like, I guess we try another side guide.
Can I move in? Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can. Yeah, inside of the airlock, you do see some faintly flickering emergency light that, however, of course, are no competition to your flashlights. There is no movement inside of the ship or the inside of the airlock. This door here is, in fact, open already. And if... Stop moving for a second while I reveal.
Yep.
As you came in, I could see but much better. Oh god, I can see super far.
Yeah, it's a long flashlight.
I seem to be revealing more than I should to the south of me, so I'm not looking there at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that is very true. You're not supposed to see that at all.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Telos is his grand vision here.
You can see through time and space, almighty.
He sees the future. And the
Terrible.
future is bad.
I won't look down there then, I suppose.
It's already gone.
The visions of time and space, those sound intriguing.
Yes, try you.
Let me try this again without revealing. There we go. You can see space. Nothing else.
It's true, I can't.
You have to move there to not stand on somebody. Oh, there we go.
Thaddeus is right outside with his cup noodle.
He's in the ship. Yeah, whatever.
No, he's coming with us. God said it. Must be
Yep.
true.
He handles the vision bot.
He's with you, yeah. He's chatting with it.
He stays behind it at all times.
So I usually heat up my cup noodles, you know.
He's constantly hogging it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just a cup noodle tutorial.
And it's like his. It is like
In Synergy, I'll do
like
these
it is-
experiments with water.
in his bathrobe and slippers.
Uneasily steadying himself against the wall, Tasselis like wields his like spear. You know, it's like he's never tried really throwing this in zero G before. He like looks down like the hallway.
I mean, I suppose I can't. I mean, so I can move myself along walls. Since it's
Yes.
0G, does the floor count as a wall?
The floor would count as a wall, but it has no handholds, so it's slightly more difficult. Of course, as long as you're not in combat, that barely matters.
Okay, excellent. Then I won't worry about it.
Tasselis says, presumably, then we should try and reach the bridge of the ship, which hopefully is at the fore.
Yeah, so that's like over here.
You know, we'll take a right at the
There's-
intersection.
Yes, there's probably some sort of signage at the intersection.
Yeah, the long, presumably main corridor of the ship runs the entire length of the ship from the bow to the stern. There are signs of battle here. Bullet holes, scorch marks, and droplets of blood clearly visible on the walls and floors. A small body in a spacesuit lies sprawled on the floor in the middle of the junction.
That's spooky.
Lies, so it appears to have been killed while the life system was still on.
Well, not that's a misnomer then. It's sort of floating. It's in the middle of the junction, not necessarily on the floor.
Okay.
A body of like possibly like one of like the miners or whatever, like one of the folks on the Acheron.
Yeah, do they have any identifying features?
Well, they are wearing a spacesuit, and the helmet they have on conceal most of their features. But even from a distance, it does look like a rather crude spacesuit. The size could be that of a dwarf, so it might be a miner. But you'll have to
reach out a
investigate.
spear and like pull it close. Because he can't, like, he doesn't want to let go of the wall too easily. But he'll like nudge it over here, so he's.
Do any of you have life science trained?
No, pretty sure
Okay.
it's flat now.
Yeah, pulling the creature towards you and presumably opening the helmet, you see a small greenish humanoid.
Green men from Mars.
Certainly not a dwarf.
Certainly not.
And they're not. The life science was to see if we could recognize the species, presumably.
We should shine the camera bot onto
Or
it.
is there something we can roll for that?
That would be life science, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't know what this is. Can we like check its pockets? Maybe it's got, like an ID card or something.
For salvage.
Maybe it has like a name tag. Says new.
Well,
new
we
job.
might need something when we're on the bridge. It's a fair point.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, Victor can certainly rummage through its pockets, while the rest of you can roll me a perception check.
It's alive.
It grips him with a dead man's
Oh,
grip.
what a bollocks perception check.
Pain is all I
Not take the
feel.
gold. Then-
We were all wrong.
Huh. How about that? It's a surprise.
He does care.
Both Talos and Tasselis, as I remember I forgot to reveal more stuff for you. And every time I do this, I hope I don't break anything, because...
I know the feeling.
There you go. Both of you notice movement behind this large motor over here.
No reason for Tasselis to hold on to that and just telepathically communicate movement. Describe its
Pike is out.
location.
Gonna not take care of this body then. If there's movement, that means there's something bad's in here.
Because I don't have to vocalize things. I can just telepathically communicate
there's
to you.
blood splatter and floating corpses. I think we're all ready to fight.
Yeah, the movement was
Yep.
brief. Tess stopped.
Well, in addition to his solar weapon, which he has out purely for the light at this point, Maedar is going to draw his tacklash and his auto-target rifle.
All right. God. I guess I'm going to have to ask you to get rid of the flashlight for me. Because Tasselis, without really intending to try and hit anything there, will just lob the flashlight over in that direction to allow the light arc to spin.
Okay. And as Tasselis lobs the flashlight, that does pirouettes in the air, illuminating the room like a disco light, the movement once again commences and rushes in your direction as a bluish, almost ethereal-looking cat-like creature rushes towards you around the machinery.
I stabbed it super hard.
Presumably making some sort of sound, but it's a vacuum. There are no sounds in space. As this thing comes rushing towards you, but you of course noticed it, so we'll go into initiative, and it does not get a surprise.
In space, no one can hear me scream.
That's good for the camera.
It's a good thing I got the perception check, because boy oh boy.
Well,
Basically, all of my effort was spent on the disco light.
there's some screaming hell ghost is coming for me, so...
Missing Maedar and Talos?
Oh yeah, I should probably press the initiative button, huh?
Or you can just sit this one out if you like.
No, I'll pass.
Also, Talos clicked the button but didn't appear. That's weird. That worked. But I'm mean and will use the result you rolled.
Well done.
I like to think that Tasselis knew there was movement, but when the flashlight reveals the fucking hell space ghost, he's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, you thought it was going to be a zombie, maybe,
How-
and then this thing.
Yeah,
How
it-
tall then is this motor? Can we see over it?
It's like maybe a meter, a little more.
Oh,
It certainly
okay.
provides cover if you're standing behind it.
So how
And
big
if you
is the
move
thing?
over it, it would count as difficult
Is it
terrain, even though you're floating.
man-sized?
It's a large dog-sized,
Yeah.
and will rush towards you with rather a lot of ease, as it seems to be basically clawing inside the metal, leaving scratches and such, climbing alongside of the machine.
Just stab it.
You stab it. You can stab.
I can stab it.
Can
Yes, you were not surprised at all. Can react.
Precariously balanced
Come on,
next
stab.
to the wall as you are.
It does have cover from your attack, but that does not matter. As actually, it doesn't have cover. What am I saying? It would have had cover over here, though, but whatever. It doesn't matter. You hit
Okay.
smashing into it. And
Is it ethereal? Is it a
it
ghost?
certainly does not appear ethereal.
Oh, good.
Both visible from the scratch marks it's leaving in the machinery, and the fact that it bleeds in oddly purple blood.
That's good. If it bleeds, he could die. That's
as it will try to bite Victor with its more spreading spittle.
I don't want to have warp death.
The 0G environment. It, however, does not hit you, and it looks very upset.
It's thoroughly unpleasant.
Maedar.
Well, I don't necessarily like it, so I'll step here and try to shoot it in the mouth.
Will
Or
that
just-
require a skill check, God, for him to like position himself there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Crawling along the wall would require an acrobatics.
Acrobatics? I thought it was like an athletics or like a climb thing.
It's either. It's either.
Okay.
Oh, oh goodness! Thank goodness. Yes.
All right. I was trying to remember what
Yeah.
God said.
That would be. You get a +2 from the walls being sort of more or less made for 0G.
18.
Yeah, that is more than enough.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna shoot it, or shoot at it at least. Hopefully, I shoot it.
Yes, you hit and hurt it. More blood.
I am in
From
photon
creature.
mode, so
Oh, you.
Yeah.
More damage then. Tell us.
All right, we'll float over here in an attempt to. What was the DC for acrobatics check?
Be a DC 10.
Oh, okay. Well, that shouldn't be a problem.
No.
All right, he'll float over here and consider. Let's see if he can figure out a place to hit this beast by sensing what it wants. No, he does not sense the beast.
No,
Shoot his
that's
ugly hellmouth.
barely not enough.
We'll just try to shoot it. How about that?
Yep, that hits.
That's a
That's a
natural
pretty good
20.
Okay.
What does that do in this game?
It's a
You-
crit, so
You roll the damage again.
okay.
If the gun has any special effect, that will also apply.
No.
But whatever you roll, it's dead.
All right.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks
7
really
damage.
cool.
Blam.
Good for the cameras. You know, he just dives through awesomely, does a flip or whatever, and then shoots it in the face, and just, oozes out. I guess I don't know what it's made of. It looks oozy.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit oozy.
Because it spasms and floats there, right?
Yep. Combat is over. As the vacuum continues to be very quiet.
Tasselis blinks, like antennae twitching, and he'll telepathically communicate to the party. So, any of you know what that...
Slight head shake as the red terror grabs the corpse, unfazed by this attack, to rummage through the pockets of the dead green thing.
The dead green thing has a bunch of trash in its pocket, like literal just leftover bits of some sort of meal, some broken and rusted gears, a wrench that presumably at some point was a wrench and not just a stick of metal. Certainly nothing of value in there.
Okay, no identification or anything like that. No, nothing that says
No.
I work for this company. Okay, well,
No.
all right, and then he will just, I don't know, push the body towards the wall and let it be there.
Tasselis will also telepathically communicate. GM, behind us, like heading back towards the airlock. Is that a door?
Behind you. Where?
Yeah,
Here?
where I'm
Yes.
currently looking now, like between me and the
Yes.
airlock. Okay.
That is in fact a door.
Tasselis will telepathically communicate. There's a door here. I hope those things can't open those.
Victor wishes he could telepathically communicate sometimes. But for now, he'll continue being a brooding mess. So
Did you say that the flashlight was 15 feet or 50?
15.
It seems very much longer than that on my token. Like when I move my facing, it seems very
yes,
long.
because some of you have low light, which effectively doubles the range.
Okay. I didn't know if I would see that because I don't have it. So
I
I
mean,
don't
we
have my
could.
own token selected, so that should just give me my
yeah,
vision.
with my token selected, I do. I don't know. I was just
With my token selected, I see weird shit whenever you like spin your vision.
yeah. I see it. I mean, I see it too.
I think it's just to show like that's stuff that you would not be able to see. I guess.
I think
Oh,
it's,
yeah, also
it's,
it's-
Well,
it
that's what I was
predominates-
mentioning. Like I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to see that or.
predominates dim light and stuff like
see,
that.
see, what are you seeing?
It could just end up
Yeah,
being
it's
due to
looking
like
weird.
light
Garbage.
degradation. I don't know.
Like
What?
in the direct, can you not see it wobbling in the way that I
Oh,
looked?
yeah.
Yeah, I
15,
can.
and then there's like more and more.
That's a
I
lot
don't
of.
know.
That's really far.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that's. I don't know. You have powerful flashlights. Congratulations.
Okay.
Supercharged.
Oh, I know what it
I'm
is. It's
just-
not 15 feet, it's 15 squares. I've said it too.
Oh, that would explain a whole lot.
15 feet.
And that would explain why, in general, we'd be able to see a bit.
How long is dark vision?
Sick.
60.
60.
Standard.
Yeah.
60. That's how many? Divided by 5? I don't know.
6. No, not 6. 12. No, 12 times 5 is 60, right?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Metal's not liking my changing things. Okay. Why does... Why can Victor see everything? Let me fix it.
It's
This
only
is
low light, I don't know.
The red terror
overing
sees
me right
all.
now. Who has light on? Maedar is all the light. Okay, there we go.
Yes, I have 20, and then my flashlight.
20 fucking...
That said, when I click on myself, I no longer can see my own
Yeah.
20
I think
feet.
your 20 got
I
turned
removed
off.
it.
Was that breaking it all?
Yeah, it was just too far.
Okay.
No,
So
I
how
don't
much?
see a
20
thing.
feet.
That's
Yeah, I
4 feet, 4
did a
squares.
thing.
Fixing it. Recalibrating.
Give you a new light called Maedar.
Okay.
That's not long enough. Whatever, that'll have to be good enough.
Yeah,
So I'll once again
it's-
press the scary button, and now this seems much more moody. Although Victor still has a huge flashlight, apparently.
I don't know. I didn't make it.
Home flashlight.
And Telos doesn't seem like he can see as far with his dark vision as he should be able to.
Something
I also no
seems-
longer have my flashlight.
Dark
Well,
vision.
it's because you broke the last one.
Yeah,
cheated
everything's
with it.
terrible.
I don't know.
At least I have an excuse. I chucked it. I have to go get that back. That's my phone.
All my contacts are in there.
I mean, they're not the important contacts. The other one is built into my armor. So that's the burner phone that I threw, but I still have to get that back.
That should be better. Yeah. I mean, is that 60 feet? I guess 60 feet is really long, isn't it? Yeah,
It
okay,
is.
that seems about right. Of course, Telos can only see in black and white.
Of course.
Yeah. You are free to move again.
Well, I mean, we know what direction we're going. I would prefer Maedar to come with me because he has the actual light.
Tasselis, like, she'll like backpedal like away from the door that he can no longer really see.
It is 7 feet instead of 20, but it's okay.
you know, class ability is less than half useful. But
Is
should
it
we
7
check
feet?
down these paths? I don't know.
It's like 1.5 squares for me.
That doesn't actually do anything to look down this way.
I'll deselect myself just in case. I didn't have it selected before, but
I'm just going to set it to a random value and call that good.
okay.
And that's fine.
Oh wait, that's weird. It doesn't change when I select my token. Like my actual vision doesn't change. But when I deselect any token, it does look different than how it did. Map tool lighting is weird.
That's because, Maedar, you have like a 10 feet light currently, but I see that as 20 feet because I have low light vision and your light disseminates 10 feet beyond.
Right now you have like... okay, that apparently is not in squares, but in actual feet. Called fuck logic. Did I change that?
Okay, now I can see correctly. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
Excellent.
good.
Excellent. Map tool is so fucky sometimes.
Yeah. So note to self: cones are in distance, but circles are in cones are in squares, but circles are in distance.
I'm just gonna save this token.
Yeah, exactly. Save right now.
But yeah, all these white things are most definitely doors.
We should be able to see further. There we go. Oh, there's like an open thing with a red thing in there. Well, that's not where we're going now. Is there any sort of signage or like, indication that this is the direction to?
No. It's not a ship made for visitors ever and doesn't need directions.
Open the door.
You open the door. It does not resist and glides open easily, revealing.
And these whatever that Akata thing was, they probably can open doors because how else would they have gotten in here? Doesn't seem to me like there's many open doors.
They're like banana spiders and they come out of crates.
The airlock wasn't even open.
Oh, this looked like a bridge.
And as you open the door, we'll go into initiative.
I'll stab it. Whatever it is. That's what I do. Apparently it was a horrible initiative.
As this guy gets to act first, who will move right here and bite at whoever is poking his head through the door, which in this case I guess would be Victor.
Yes.
And we'll try to bite him for an 18.
Oh, no, it hit me.
Give me a fortitude save.
Protected you, Maedar. Don't forget that I'm gonna get the void death.
I know. I will stab him with my solar light.
Oh yes, that's a good fortitude save.
Yeah.
I don't need void death in life.
The sticky drool on the teeth does not seem to bother Victor, but you still take 4 damage.
I've been injected with way too much stuff already.
Yeah.
Just like
Maedar.
void shards and.
Maedar will do
cheeks.
his solar spiky punch thing for 2 damage.
Oh, you certainly hit. Even though it has cover from you.
Yep.
Anything else?
Did I have cover from it then?
No.
Oh.
Since you're poking your head for the door.
Way in my way. No, I do not have any cool stuff yet.
Okay. Tasselis.
Okay. As a move action, Tasselis is going to gesture towards that thing, and through the power of telepathic communication, get him!
Okay.
And as a standard action, he doesn't feel too comfortable trying to, throw his spear in this situation, but he will twitch his antennae and, using an at-will standard, attempt to daze this thing, but it's not a humanoid creature, I presume. Not that he would fucking know that, so it's gonna fail automatically. Alright.
As part of this spell, you would know that it won't work.
Or the spell I would know that? If that's the case, then I guess he would throw the spear. Like he goes like a twitch antenna, like, damn, it's probably not like one of those like humanoid things. Like I don't know humanoids, but it looks like a ghost thing. Throw it. No.
That is a miss.
It probably just like thuds off Victor's armor. Forget my turn.
Okay. Tell us.
Well, he couldn't suss out the will of this creature before, but maybe he can do so again. Or this time, so he will float a bit forward.
Yeah, if you float forward, you do have to give me an acrobatics or athletics.
I don't think I can fail this unless I literally roll a 1. So there we go. And let's see if I can sense him. Nope.
No.
It looks maybe hungry.
Maybe. Alright, well, let's see if I can shoot him.
Your luck with those rolls is the worst.
But it's like a 50-50, so like it's very frustrating.
It probably
12.
doesn't hit since that's going to be shooting through Maedar as well.
Yep, it definitely has cover, making that a miss.
Oh,
Also, you should probably tell me if it's a target, if it's an attack targeting KAC or EAC.
it says KAC in the roll.
Okay. Does it? Oh yeah, sorry. You shoot and miss. The bullet flying silently through the silent combat. As this thing will not do much. Red Terror.
So my quarter's touching this thing, so I can attack it without cover, obviously.
Yes.
Can you reveal what I can see from my position here? Because I can't even see the whole thing.
I certainly can. Let me select all of you.
Alright. And I will attack it then with my full tactical pike. And these attacks will of course have a +1 from the order to attack.
Okay, that's a 5 and a 6.
5 and a 6.
Plus
Very good
one can't
damage, though.
fucking save you.
Natural 1, 2, right there.
Jesus.
He's a little freaked out with being bit by this thing and like getting that goop away.
Just making for a more compelling story with the droid.
Yeah. Luckily, it's still talking about noodles, so.
As the Carter will also do a full attack with its bite. So these two attacks will be at -4 against Victor. That's an 18.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's a 25. 23 even, because I can't math. For a total of 9 damage.
And 2 fortitude
Sure,
saves.
Screw me. Wham. And 2 fortitude saves.
I don't like the idea of void death.
That's a natural 20. And that's a 6.
That
Well,
is
I was bound to
a 6.
fail, I mean, sooner or later.
Yeah.
Victor dies.
Yeah,
You
so
don't
turn into
immediately
void.
feel anything. I will put it into your GM label.
Sure. I mean, I have an eerie feeling I'm going to turn into one of those things.
Well,
Maedar.
Remember what we were talking about before this session?
Yeah. You
Well,
know.
I'm going to attempt
Sooner or
to
later.
poke it again.
You poke, and you certainly do poke it for 5 points of damage.
For 6 points of damage.
6 points.
Yes.
Tasselis.
Well, move action as like the spear like returns from thudding off of Victor's damn armor. Move action to like again gesture at this whatever the hell blue ghost thing. You have to like telepathically like broadcasting out like I don't even know how the hell you hurt this thing. I don't even know what its muscle groups are. You have to stop it. As for a standard action, this is going to be directed at the Red Terror. Boss Red. mental images are broadcasted towards Victor of inspiring warmth and radius. Believe in the me that believes in you. Inspiring boost. Seems like a significant enemy. Regain 7 stamina points.
Yes, I will regain 7 stamina points. Victor
That's
isn't.
fantastic.
Yes, the world is watching.
That's right. That's what Victor. That's what
This
Tasselis
wrestling
will
move
remind.
before
Victor
didn't
of.
actually hurt it, because that's supposed to, but...
But you have to look good now. This is the
Yeah.
first time anyone's seen you in action in a while.
Dark void streaming through his veins. It doesn't matter.
That'll end
Blaze of
Tasselis'
glory.
turn.
Okay. Tell us.
Well, I will just float where I am and try to sense it. No, and try to shoot it.
It's the forearms separating you. It's hard to tell with
Nope.
Maedar, though.
2
That's
misses,
it.
unfortunately.
We just cannot hit it.
Red Terror.
Alright, let's try this again. +1 to them.
Okay.
19
Yes.
and a 22.
// turning it into mostly blue goop.
Yes, get away from me. You already did your job. I'll join you soon.
Is the goop mostly blue, or is he mostly goop?
Bit of both. A bit of purple involved, as its insides seem to be purple. Maedar, you don't sense any movement currently.
How to go inside and get all the
I
attacks
yeah,
from
I
the
kind of like
enemies.
peek my head in there before I move, so I'll like get a better view. Or do I
Uh,
have to kind of come in?
well, you can move in
Silver
and then
dragon
look
situation.
around.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll take the plunge here.
Okay.
You're great, easy.
You can look a direction. Actually, you don't have your flashlight on, do you?
No.
You see 2 of them hunkering in the corners, ready to pounce.
I should make an check, right?
Yes, if you want to stop yourself and not drift helplessly into the bridge, you will have
Yeah.
to roll me an
Breaking through the
acrobatics.
glass and floating into space.
How many of those am I allowed to do a turn? Can I also just fuck right out of there?
Well, I would say it's part of his move action.
Yeah.
Maedar moves in and immediately grabs hold of the same run and just reverses.
Yeah.
He's got-
Nope.
Yeah, sure. Give me another one. Yeah, you managed to stop yourself again.
I'm going to look directly at the robo camera and say, "There are more."
Well, they can't hear it, but
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
You know.
Put the look of terror on my face will convey. Hold up 2 fingers.
Well, I mean, we'll have comms
Somewhere.
broadcasting towards each other.
we can
Obviously,
record the
that'll carry
audio
into
afterwards, guys.
I just imagine that the millennia-old ambassador is seeing us completely fumble with the slimy thing. He's like, oh no.
I could evaporate that with my mind in 2
It's like,
seconds.
Why?
He's
Oh,
just
low-level
drinking
adventurers.
the goopy dragon juice. He's like, yes.
Hey, but couldn't he have done it?
You could walk in here and just obliterate
Sparkle.
everything.
So, anything else?
Oh no. I'll
Prepare
wait for
to
that.
attack.
Okay, Tasselis.
Yeah. When Tasselis hears that, he's not going in front of Victor. In part because he doesn't want to take Boss Red's glory, of course. He's got to look good for the camera. It wouldn't do good for this, live, fucking, sexy as fuck lashunta to go in there and steal the credit for the large Vesk. Tasselis is going to prepare an action. Should he see anything that he might identify as hostile, which is anything other than his party, he will throw the spear at them.
Okay. It turns out they do not seem to be coming towards you. Tell us.
Well, I mean, float a little bit closer, I guess. If you can. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Stop yourself.
And yeah, that's it. Can't see anything, and don't really want to go in there first.
Red Terror. Standing at the open door.
Well, look at his companions. One of them will do something. Just people move, and he'll take it as an order to go in. So That's what he'll do.
Hopefully you pass your check
I
to
can't
to
see
move
anything
along
right
the
now,
walls.
But, well, let's try. I have a +9, so I don't think I can actually
No,
fail this.
no, you
No,
can't
you
fail it
can't.
at all.
There's no reason to roll. Yeah. So I guess I'll move here and attack it.
Yeah, as long as you stay adjacent to a wall, you can't fail.
I will attack it. Tactical bike.
That's it.
Stabbed Akata.
Maedar.
Get in here. I need light.
Hey. I will. Yeah. Whoop.
No problem.
Well, there's still that one below me. I think priority targets should be a thing here, though. So I will shoot at the Akata that Victor just attacked. Although cover's a thing.
Yeah, it will have cover.
Yeah, if you shoot at the one to the south, then it's not going to have cover. Like
The hope
that's
is that if the top one moves towards me, I'll get to stab it with an attack of opportunity. So.
Yep.
I can hopefully kill it with that.
Yes, I will shoot at the bottom one then. Probably miss anyway.
Yep, that's a miss.
Well, if he charges me, at least I'll be able to attack it with an attack of opportunity. Because I have my whip thing.
Tasselis.
Tasselis can't see at all. Like he doesn't like to move right into the door there because like Maedar's just shooting right like there, and like Tasselis doesn't want to stand in the way. I'm going to prepare an action with the same rules that I had before.
Okay. As this Akata here will, in fact, charge at Maedar.
Okay, then the standard action prepare will come to effect. I move in my initiative to, I believe, pretty much exactly where I am anyway. And to check the spear.
14, even with cover, is a hit.
Alright, 6 points of damage.
As the Akata will try to bite Maedar.
I do have an attack of opportunity first.
You do, okay.
Let's hope that kills it.
That hits for
It's
3
non-lethal
points.
damage. 3 non-lethal damage.
Doesn't like it.
But it does hit you with a 27, I believe.
Oh, yes, it does, definitely.
Or 8 points.
What's its to hit bonus, man? Damn.
Much, apparently.
I mean, if that's not even a critical, so at least 8.
And presumably a fortitude save as well.
Yeah, I get
Oh,
void death.
We can be void death creatures together. It is lore and blood all over again.
Let me put that
Exactly, yeah.
on
I got a
again, my
bad
friend.
feeling about this.
Dude, Maedar and
gonna
Victor are
be-
going to become...
We're gonna be the only untainted ones.
We're gonna
Tasselis.
we're
We
gonna
must
bond
seal-
over our mutual
It
like.
seems like Starfinder's
space
version.
illness.
What if this is like Starfinder's version of zombies?
We must seal the hatch and never open it again.
Wait, Jonas, weren't you the one who called zombies when we started this?
I hear that the undead have a great place in society.
Yeah.
Go and
tell
become
us.
whatever they are.
Well, we'll shoot the Akata next to Maedar, I suppose. Let's see if we can figure it out. Yes, I believe so.
He does have cover, but yes, definitely.
Cover
know
from
what
the
they're all
sense motive.
And that is a hit.
Hooray! That's 10
10
damage.
damage. Enough to destroy it.
Kaboom! That's max damage, I think. Yes.
So they can't think away
That's really
that
good damage.
condition.
As the second one will take a guarded step forward
No, can't stop that.
and will try to eat Victor.
Confirms that they're smart, though. Okay, I take 4 points of damage.
Damn.
I already have void death, so it's really the
Yeah.
worst they can do to me.
Yeah, you don't need to roll the save. You're already done.
Makes them a lot less scary.
When you already have the void.
You know, what good can it do?
But it is Victor's turn.
Just turn to full attack.
Both hit and turn this
Yeah.
Akata into minced Akata.
Stab it, poke so many holes, it's liquid. He's winded.
Combat is over.
Tasselis,
Looks like the control
Oh, man.
room.
I just looked at my macros. I was adding. Just kidding. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Okay.
You were saying, Manaki?
This appears to be the control room.
Tasselis communicates out. Telos, can you see about maybe restoring an atmosphere, at least gravity here?
Telos nods. Radios. I'll see what I can do. As he sort of floats in, looks over the controls.
Speaking as a player, like, since God said that neither of you two felt anything, Tasselis is not gonna like think of like pulling out his med kit since you guys feel normal, other than the damage you've taken.
There might be a slight wooziness, certainly that feels as if there's something wrong with you, but no mechanical effect, is mostly what I'm saying. You are aware that you are probably not well. There's something weird going on.
Actually, we'll reach out his arm where there's like a big bite mark with his blood mixing with the horrible goop. It's like weird ooze bubbling as it mixes. And he'll like look at Tasselis like...
Tasselis like blinks at that and says, I have my medkit telepathically communicated, but I should probably wait until Telos restores gravity. I've never attempted 0G medicine."
He nods and tries to get some of the goop away from him.
Yeah.
It's
And
not-
it
it's
ends
not
up being on
healthy.
Maedar, who then flicks it back.
No,
Into a goop war.
blood fight.
So his eyes are widening as he looks between both Victor and Maedar and then down at like the thing.
I just can feel the rage. It's just so close to the surface now. This liquid is changing him.
Into a
He's sure of it.
were-goop.
Yeah. Where ooze.
Yeah.
I can see the moon every
Is
night.
Is there any life in these controls, Sheep?
The controls do seem to be powered down, but they do seem to be sort of on well, not entirely powered down, on standby, definitely.
Well,
They are flickering in a way they probably shouldn't be, but there does seem to be a spark of life still.
in that case, Telos will try to gain access to restore artificial gravity and life support.
Okay, give me a computers check.
Sure. 12.
It looks like the computer of the ship was actually properly shut down and didn't just crash or lose power. And it basically comes to life without too much issue, illuminating some of the screens, but the ship still staying dark. You have access to remotely open and close doors, as well as the life support systems. Although accessing logs and more like protected systems, it doesn't let you do without gaining root access first.
Alright. Well, Telos says, well, I can restore the life support and gravity. Logs will take some time.
Nod.
As he,
Victor imagines that we're going to have some time here to get this goop out of him, if possible.
as he moves then to restore said 0G, said gravity and life support.
Okay, the air pumps come to life as air streams into the ship, but it'll probably take a little bit of time, in the realm of minutes. Artificial gravity, however, comes online rather abruptly.
The bodies of these Akatas like splat to the ground. It's just like
Splash.
Yeah, there were some blood drops floating as well in the corridor that just plunked down now.
Yeah, the bot just...
the green man just pop.
Tasselis will like come into the room now, like trying to recover from the fact that gravity's in, and close the door to the bridge behind him.
Okay, the door swings closed without issues, or rather slides closed.
Yeah, he'll gesture to like, I don't know, like one of like the maybe like the wall here, and so like, Boss Red, Maedar, if you two could get over to the side there, I'm gonna take a look at both of you.
Oh, definitely. I'm pretty tired too, having 10 stamina
Definitely.
down, so...
Get over here. Okay. This will be the first time I've attempted something like this with Starfinder. Let's look at the medicine skill. The knowledge of biology of many species and can treat a number of different types of wounds and ailments. You can do first aid, which doesn't apply. Long-term care doesn't apply. Long-term stability doesn't apply. Treat deadly wounds. It's out of my range. Treat disease. If anything, I just need to identify, like, what the hell happened to you people, I guess.
Yeah, that's a medicine check too, to identify.
I got my wonderful med kit here. And look at both of you. $25.
Okay, well, that's a 20. Well, maybe Tasselis has heard of symptoms or lack thereof that sound similar to what this is, and would know it under its name, usually referred to as void death. A rather mean disease that has the property of not really doing much until it suddenly kills you. And once you die, your corpse turns into a creature and starts doing creature things.
So does the disease, or does this disease itself, like, kill the people?
The disease does kill. Specifically, it doesn't have a latent or carrier state, but after that, it will come into effect at full force.
Okay. How does one, like, cure themselves of void death if they are, for whatever reason, to be infected by it?
To cure, you could use, for example, medicine with a medkit would definitely work as the treat disease. There are certain magics that might help, although they are fairly powerful. There are certain medicine facilities that might give a bigger bonus, but once you have a disease, it's mostly on the person to actually fight it.
The reason why I asked, like, the treat disease mechanic is, like, every time the disease creature attempts a saving throw against the disease, I make a medicine check. And if my result exceeds the DC of the disease, the creature receives a +4 bonus to its saving throw against the disease.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, what frequency this disease tests at. Like, how rapidly does it advance?
It would, Tasselis would think it would get worse every day.
Okay.
So he reckons there's at least 2 days where you won't feel anything, but after that it gets nasty.
All right. Then for the gravity of this, particularly since the observation road is there, Tasselis will switch to, like, speaking this out as the environment gets restored. Communicate, like, the comms, and say, all right, Boss Red, Maedar, I've got some good news. You're not dying, and there is nothing immediately fatal that will prevent us from succeeding in our task from the ambassador. The bad news is that you've been both infected, very confident on this, with void death.
Telos, like, looks up from his controls and is like looks over, like, void death.
Void death, that's right. Now, void death,
like,
in the bodies of two individuals as strong as yourselves, particularly with the right treatment, now that I've diagnosed this, we're great. Essentially, Tasselis, like, looks over and gestures towards, like, the blue orb, the blue, like, mass. Perhaps after, we'll call it 2 days, if your body fails with whatever treatments to fight off the infection, you will die. Utterly. Your body will just, he describes, like, the total, like, systematic, like, organ failure that will rupture, and you'll be entirely consumed by void death.
Telos is happy he wasn't touched by these creatures.
However, thankfully, once you've been infected, you can't really be infected again. So, you two will be great frontliners against any more of these. It's possible that other crew members, these may have very well been, well, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you'll be fine. As soon as I get you to proper medical facilities off this place, and we will be great for the duration of the entire mission. You may feel woozy, however. I have supplements for that.
On account of having void death.
Victor will look to the camera. They look at him and says, I wrestled Void Death once.
Oh, no.
I will not lose to it in this form either. And he'll sit back, knowing well that his friend is doing this for the camera.
Telos looks over and says, Tasselis, how is this disease transmitted, or should I say introduced? Is this something that can be picked up just by traveling the warp, or like
Tesla shakes his head like, there is no carrier state for this. These... Tesla like looks down at these things. Whatever these things are, apparently just have it in their fluids and have embedded those fluids within our companions. And now they have void death.
Right, but these creatures, he sort of looks at them, are they native to a certain place, or do they just infiltrate the ship as it travels?
That is definitely beyond Tesla's area of expertise, and just got like a shrug for you there. I don't know what these creatures are. All I know is that they have infected our companions with void death.
Victor will look to the camera and says, this is likely the crew. And give it like a dramatic pause.
At this point, Thaddeus would be pointing out of the, of course, transparent cockpit window, pointing at an object moving away from the ship, as he says, why is our shuttle leaving?
Victor looks over at the camera and says, let's hope that delay is not long enough to let that thing reach the station. Well, you will all already know.
Tasselis like looks out like the window and says out loud, remember when I noted that we'd be going into a quarantine zone, everyone?
I imagine they do not want void death spreading on the station, no.
Yeah, Maedar's gonna look at the cat. What was the ambassador's name again?
You did this!
Ambassador
You
Nor.
set us up!
Ambassador?
Don't
No,
embarrass-
Maedar's gonna say, Ambassador Nor, I would recommend that you ask security to shoot that shuttle down.
Perhaps the ambassador is taking precautions. While we are afflicted by this, we may not be allowed to return.
Tasselis blinks, realizing that he may be the only thing that saves these two from death, because they might not be able to make it back to the station. He feels the weight of responsibility set on his shoulders, and he doesn't like
Maedar
it at
feels
all.
the weight of void death.
that Tasselis is the only thing that can save him.
Maedar has given up on life already. It's gonna make his last days worthwhile.
Well, at least by this point, 10 minutes will have passed, enough for you guys to recover your stamina? For the result point.
How much is that again to get all of it right?
One result point for all stamina.
That's what I'll do then.
Is it
100 stamina.
Is it possible that Telos has access to a light option along with atmosphere and like
Oh, yes.
gravity?
Turns out turning on the lights is not password protected.
Alright, he'll turn on the lights.
Okay.
So anyway,
It's just so God can mess with more light options.
Oh God!
Yeah, let me just make sure this doesn't reveal him.
The guy who hid in the circuit room is now fried.
Oh, yeah.
We were supposed to talk to him first.
Yeah.
The light is on. I will turn yours off.
Great.
I can stop looking in one direction.
Well, I guess the ball's in your court, Jonas, since we've fucking around over here for 10 minutes. Whatever else you want to do.
I mean,
I mean,
you'll
he will
live, right?
try-
You're not diseased, I hope.
No, he's perfectly fine. He will try to access logs or similar, like a schematic or like just anything to figure out more about the ship, if anything is critically damaged and what the fuck happened.
Okay. Give me a computers check.
Pretty good.
23. Yeah, the protection of the computer system is actually rather elaborate, presumably to protect whatever sensitive and valuable data they collect. But Telos is good enough with computers that he can get past that. He also circumvents the computer's lockout countermeasures, which definitely seem to exist. He does get access to basically everything, including the logs.
Alright, he will look into the logs.
Looking into and through the logs, presumably starting at the most recent first, there are 3 entries that pop up after a few minutes of investigating. The first one basically detailing that the crew did in fact find an asteroid in the drift, and they were very excited. And not only that, but on the asteroid's surface, they found strange geodes, sort of purple shimmering, and they brought them back to the ship because they looked like valuable rocks. Once they brought back those valuable rocks, monsters hatched from the geodes. And the description given in the log very much matches those of the Akatas. The next log entry is audio only, whereas the last one was video and audio. There are sounds of combat audible in the background, and it basically says, "There's something else. It came from the rock. We're getting overwhelmed. I'm going to open the ship to vacuum. Maybe that'll slow them down." The log jumps back to video and audio, showing presumably the captain in a spacesuit, as he says, "Purging the air didn't work. I set the autopilot to continue on to Epsilon Station, but we're abandoning the ship. We'll fall back to the rock and try to regroup there. Acheron out." There are no further entries.
Telos mumbles to himself and figures that a mysterious rock brought in from the space between realities did contain horrible monsters. Of course it did.
These monsters, like Tasselis calls over, like closing his medkit, also apparently come from geodes and can live just fine in space, like they hatch from space asteroids.
Mineral-based life forms? He sort of looks at them. Silicon-based, maybe? He shakes his head. I don't know. The universe is strange.
Tasselis blinks. Might be some value to them.
Looking around
Yeah,
with
let's
that sort
keep
of
some of this
thought in
I
mind.
mean, they spread void death, so maybe we shouldn't.
We will not release this upon station.
Looking around with those thoughts in mind, you can see scattered throughout the bridge what might have previously seemed as just debris, bits of what seems to be sort of metal, almost like after you crush an egg. That's sort of what the pieces of metal look like. It's the pieces are fairly small, like the size of a palm of a hand, easily like sliding into cracks and such, not being immediately visible. But there's quite a bunch of them, shimmering a like purple and pale green, depending on how the light hits them.
Tasselis blinks at the shards. Sort of like that.
I mean, we're gonna die for them. Might as well grab a few.
It sounds like you need like a vacuum cleaner to pick up these things. Like I don't know, like how big the shards are.
I might as
Well,
well be.
like the palm of a hand, basically, like fist sized.
Oh, okay.
Can I go grab a few? Put them in like a bag or something.
Look around, like under the computer and in like all the cracks and the air vents and such. You can pick up more than a few. In fact, you can probably find up to 3 bulk of them.
Let's see if I have enough bulk for that.
I have no bulk.
I can carry out. Yeah, I can carry 3 bulk.
Yeah, I've got some wiggle room in still being an unencumbered as well.
What
I
do
do
you
have
call
the
them?
bank.
Void eggs. Void egg.
Like green metal or shards.
Shells. Green metal shards. You just need to remember what they are, basically. There you go. I have 3 bulk worth of that. These will carry in bags, First salvage right, might as well use them for something.
Yeah. whatever the hell these things are. I mean, and surely if your character thinks they're of value, my goodness. That'll be the new rage in the wrestling. Right.
Void death. The loose shall be infected with void death.
Void death metal.
That is some pretty hardcore, hardcore music right there. You're gonna die in 2 days. You're gonna rock out.
I mean, basically, because he'll stand up and say, "So, 2 days. You have to purge the ship, then." She looks into the camera again.
Do you can Telos access like a layout of like what the ship is so that we know like what each room will be? Because presumably we're gonna have to go through these rooms to check them out for more of these things, and also we have to find a package for an ambassador.
Is there schematics, and is there also something like, do we need clearance to access certain areas? And in that case, could I just load up an access card with clearance for us?
There are schematics of the ship, no problem, and none of the doors seem overly secured.
Right.
It doesn't seem to be a ship that put much focus on that, apart from the computer.
Presumably, you just broke through the highest secure thing.
Is there anything about the asteroid? They say they would retreat to it.
There are some details about the asteroid. Yes, they haven't investigated it much because, well, they do have scanners and such, but the scanners couldn't really penetrate the rock and give good readings, as the files imply. But they did just do a physical examination, basically, and found out that it's full of tunnels.
That's
however,
good news, right?
that is the extent of their search. They didn't really want to go too much into the rock. They looked at the outer layers and such. They wanted to get it to a secure place first.
But something slipped on the ship, and so they descended into it to find safety.
Any details on exactly the circumstances of them finding it, or was it just? I mean,
the circumstances of them finding it are fairly boring, really. They were flying through the drift, and the sensors picked up an object.
Right.
They, after a little scan, figured, "Oh, that's an asteroid. That might interest us." And so they hooked it up and towed it along because it might be interesting.
Do you think these are the guys, like the survivors, were the ones that stole our shuttle? That'd be a serious dick move.
It would be funny.
Let's go explore the rest of the ship. I mean,
I guess one other thing is that, do you have a comm system here on the bridge? Maybe you could like send the ping out for the rest of the ship, if not the drift rock. Like if there are any survivors who are coming for you, like your rescue has arrived. Maybe even come meet us on the bridge.
Sure. I mean,
it's fine. Completely safe.
He'll be like, ship-wide communication button. Like press that, and it's like, attention, any survivors. This is Telos 7 of the Starfinder Society. We have restored power to the ship. If you are alive and you wish to be rescued, make your way to the bridge of the ship. We will do our best to assist you. Thank you.
But then I guess Tasselis opens the door in the bridge.
As Tasselis opens the door, let's see how the light is working. Yeah, that seems to be working fine.
Tasselis. You're the one who knows medicine.
That's true. I'm the only one who can save you from the void death.
He sees a small green humanoid standing in the junction. How do I get visible? There we go.
God.
Oh God!
Currently waving towards presumably another creature, as Tasselis hears the sounds of stomping and such. Like gesturing to come and pointing at the door. And as he points at the door, he sort of freezes as he sees Tasselis. And slowly, ever so slowly, backs around the corner again, peeking all the while.
Tasselis says, basically, like, doesn't know what this creature is, small, humanoid creature, but will call out, basically, like, he's friendly. He's smooth boy. Hi there!
The head grows a bit bigger as it peeks more around the corner.
Tasselis gives like an affable smile, like removes like whatever like protective headgear he's got on.
As the small creature says, "Rescue? Rescue! Ship fell apart. So much trash here, but those people outside shot our ship, and our ship does not like being shot. So it fell apart. Rescue?"
Tasselis says, "Yes, rescue. I am Tasselis Sapritha Callbel from the Starfinder Society."
The green head swivels around, looking at the other goblin coming into view, the other green creature coming into view. They converse in a language none of you understand. The first one turning around again. "Okay, you rescue. We take your ship back to station. Need new ship, need trash. But this trash, not good. Too many things that kill. Perhaps you kill things that kill, though, so we can get trash. Deal."
Tasselis says, "Sounds great. Is it just the two of you?"
They nod to each other as he says, "War's free, now more trash for us."
While maintaining his smile, Tasselis directs a telepathic communication to like his companions. Two small green humanoids, very interested in trash, like the one you found at the intersection.
So I'll turn around, down, look at them.
Yeah, anyone who is culture trained can give me a check. Culture or life science, but none of you care about life science.
Ain't good culture either.
Yeah, Telos definitely knows what these things are. They are pretty distinct. They are, in fact, goblins living in space. They are notorious for just taking things and strapping it together to some sort of contraption that usually works until it explodes. Their ships included. How they manage to be a fairly widespread spacefaring civilization, basically, nobody really understands, because their ships, when they fight something, and they often do, usually damage themselves more in the process than they inflict damage on their opponent. Usually the way goblin raids go is they start shooting something, and if it doesn't surrender immediately, their own ship starts falling apart and they flee.
I'm
Sounds
glad
like
Paizo
goblin tech,
found
yeah.
a way. Yeah.
It's like we don't know how it works. It's goblin technology. Like, phew.
Red ships go faster.
Yeah, it's true.
I speaking as I don't have any problem with them with not immediately attacking the two.
They
no,
are the
remember-
people that are still quarantined and are not going to leave the ship. So
Remember, we're Starfinders. We are
That's right.
affable, friendly, diplomatic people who love to meet new things.
Well, I don't know whether goblins are new things, but
I've never seen a goblin before.
the possible that they could help us as we scour through the ship.
sure, Victor doesn't speak Goblin, so
Well, neither do I, but we all speak the same basic language.
Yeah.
And Tasselis says, "Great." He steps out of the doorway and says, "Should introduce you to my other Starfinder friends. Boss Red, Telos, Maedar? Maedar? Maedar. Thaddeus?"
They give each of you a slight wave.
Can Telos lock this console again so no one but he could access this?
Sure, you can basically set a new
turn
password.
it into trash.
Exactly. He will lock the console and move away from it, closing the door. He doesn't really want.
Do these two appear to be wounded with goops anywhere?
No.
Okay, so then they're probably not affected by my ailment.
One of them, as Telos basically fiddles with the computer, waves over to Telos and says, "You turn off lights? Things spark if light on."
What?
Oh.
Can't break machines to make trash if light on. Sparks too much.
Excellent.
Aww.
We were just breaking like the nuclear core. How
It's
did
like a goblin with a pick at the core, like donk.
Tasselis looks at the goblin who is trying to deal this and says, "We can turn the lights off after we make sure that all of those things are dead." He gestures towards one of the bodies.
Just gonna
The-
let those
the-
guys have the ship. That's just all trash.
The two goblins, after Tesla says that, look at each other, like nodding slightly, like mumbling something about wisdom.
Say otherwise, while you get trash, they attack you. So once they're all dead, you get as much trash as you want.
Very good. Very deal.
Where did you two stay and keep safe? You two look well.
We head over here. Beds.
Oh, Tasselis will peek his head in.
As there's a door here that the goblin will disappear into.
Okay.
I will.
I can't move myself in there. There we go.
The goblin will point under the bed. So these guys should be small or medium. There we go.
Okay. Tasselis looks under the bed and they have an entire miniature fort down there.
Pillow fort.
All right. Tasselis says, "Great, very smart."
Goblin nods. But sort of, as soon as Tesla has looked in, gestures for him to leave again, rather hurriedly.
Sure. That's probably where they're keeping the best trash, and Tasselis thinks he'll leave.
There was a suspicious pile under one of the beds.
Tasselis is sure that they have all the rights to this, and he has no intent on taking that from them while they're still alive. Tasselis points out the other doors. Do you know what's in those other doors down there? And he points at the two other doors down the hallway.
The goblin shakes its head and says, "No, didn't get far. Too many monsters."
Tasselis looks over and says, "Boss Red, if we're sweeping the ship anyway, because we have to find it, we might as well start looking down here." The mammoth Vesk trundles down the hallway.
As the goblin sort of jumps up and down. Ooh, let me go first. Best trash.
All right. Tasselis shrugs, looks over at me.
As the goblin nudges the huge Vesk.
They don't seem intimidated at all by the Vesk, do they?
No. They've seen shit.
I guess so.
You need some goblins in your show, I think. These are great.
As this goblin opens the door, and immediately a blast of laser fire shoots out, hitting the poor thing in the face and killing him instantly.
Goodbye.
Oh no! Oh no! Goblin
Goodbye.
49, no!
Oh, son of Toothy.
Tasselis
Wait,
Gone before his time.
hang on.
It's happened to all goblins who open
I
things.
literally looked away for half a second, and now this goblin's dead.
Yes.
Yes, he wanted to open the door first because he wanted the best trash. And so, Victor was going to open it first. All right. So he nudges Victor out of the way, opens the door, takes a blaster shot to the face, and dies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yeah, looking into the room, Victor says that Victor sees that there was an apparatus rigged to the door, presumably to punish those who would enter this room, jury-rigged laser.
Oh my god. No.
No. Well,
Oh, dude, I can only. He's He's like, yes, I eat best trash. He opens the door and you just hear, pew, and he just fucking falls over. Oh no!
Just pops like an overripe watermelon. Like,
Tasselis calls out.
God.
How does it look in there, Boss Red?
Inside, it seems to be a storage room of some kind. There are different lockers around, each with a name attached to them. Presumably the crew's like personal storage. Inside, the lockers themselves aren't locked. You see that at least one of the lockers contains more of the egg fragments, the cocoon fragments, neatly stored in it. And also some other goodies in the other things, including a weapon fusion, a disruptive weapon fusion of 5th level. There are 2 Mark 1 serums of healing and 3 med patches.
Okay. 1 disruptive weapon fusion, 5th level, 2 Mark 1 serums of healing, and 3 med patches, along with some more of those shard things.
Yeah, there's 1 bulk of shard things. The disruptive weapon fusion, just for information, 5th level means it has to go on a weapon at level 5 or higher. It allows you to bypass the damage resistance of undead creatures. Disruptive.
Okay.
Yeah, ignores any DR and energy resistance of undead creatures, but can only be applied to weapons that deal bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Boss Red? Since I haven't heard anything from Manaki, I don't know whether he's muted or just not talking.
He's muted.
I'm muted apparently. All right. I take the shells. I was saying that. Beyond that, he says lots of trash. He looks through stuff. Laying it out basically.
The other goblin from the back pipes up. Ooh, trash!
He points to the other room.
Kicking away his companion.
Best trash. As he points to this door. It says, first in gets the best trash.
He frowns at the goblin corpse and says, best trash in here. Nods.
Victor will quickly take the stuff he found. Let the goblin play with overalls or whatever else is.
Oh, there might be like a few like shards like left that didn't match his bulk that he might be interested in.
Telos points at the door down the corridor. Has anyone been in there?
Shake head.
Looks at the goblin.
Also shakes head. While trying to rip off one of the doors from one of the lockers.
Tasselis says,
They're so cute!
These guys are so adorable. How could you hate them?
Oh no. Oh, I feel so bad for the other one. We should... No.
Although they're like, now that after like seeing what's happened and worried about like other traps, Tasselis will sort of like stand off to the side of it.
I was gonna say we should see if this one wants to open this door, but at the same time I don't want to see him get hurt.
Yeah. Like Tasselis just like edges off to the side and like tries to push it, so he's not standing directly in front of it like the goblin was, just in case like another like laser fire happens.
You push at the door and it slides open, revealing beds. Also, quickly before I forget, I believe the disruptive weapon fusion being 5th level is a typo. It should be 3rd level.
Okay, I'll make it 3rd level.
And Tasselis calls out, "More beds in here." Like he like leans down to like look under the beds. Maybe there's more goblins hiding.
No, not more goblins.
Tasselis says, "All clear in here." Although those bed sheets could be pretty nice trash.
The goblin shouts from the room. Nah, bedsheet sails, but space don't sail.
I can't argue with that reasoning. Tesla says, looks like all clear then.
Might as well do the other side then.
Yeah, might as well. To the port!
Let's take the thing that's not locked first. Because there's an open space here. Oh my. Nothing's locked.
Looks like a
kitchen.
kitchen area.
Tasselis.
There wasn't anything more specifically useful inside here, was it, Chip? Also, all vision on Tila seems to have stopped, or I'm freaking out again.
No, not all vision
There
does
we go.
hasn't stopped. It's just like the angles.
Cheap.
Cheap.
I'm muted. I just revealed the room again.
Jonas asked whether wanted a clarification.
Oh,
the
no,
room.
I listed all the things.
Okay. Oh, the goblin can rummage around, I guess.
Yeah, he's rummaging.
Just want to search the rooms up here.
Yeah,
what is
these rooms-
is it a kitchen?
This is a kitchen, yeah.
Ooh,
Okay.
space kitchen.
Space
Oh,
food.
so my
It
people
is
might
a
really-
galley, in fact. There are some rations still left, but they look like pretty bad stuff, actually.
Yeah. Minor food.
Okay.
Maedar will do another, off to the side opening.
Yeah, I've already opened the doors for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trapped.
I made a good shot.
Yeah, these two rooms, more beds, more personal effects scattered around.
All right. More crew quarter stuff.
Lots
Got
of
it.
seemingly. All right.
And presumably, not just like an exploration one, but also having to haul that rock back.
Makes her still appreciates not having to float about anymore.
It's pretty nice.
Wasn't too difficult, but
We still have our little drone following us around.
she's filming
Okay.
a bit.
Oh yes.
And we can't be too careful because obviously these creatures, whatever they are intelligent enough to lurk in corners.
So, would these green metal shards that we've been founding fall under our first salvage rights, or
I mean, I've been putting them on back.
As far as I'm
I
concerned,
have
yeah.
4 bulk worth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the rights, as you may have understood, the ambassador basically mean anything that isn't bolted down and not evidence. You're probably fine to take.
I didn't
I
know
think
if they would
evidence
count
enough is us
as,
filming all those logs and such. It seems pretty obvious what's happened here.
Yeah, I didn't know if the shards would count as evidence in terms of it would be, they might be the stuff that they were grabbing from the asteroid and thus would fall under the ownership of whoever is decided to own this stuff.
I think it was interpreted that way.
Yeah. Also, from the schematics that Telos looked at, he would know that up here, in this, and down here are the main storage rooms. Here, just past you, is the main power source, the reactor, and at the back is engineering at the engines.
Alright, well.
No med banging.
This place is
No
also
matter.
much smaller than I thought it was based off of I was expecting it to be the giant mega superstar destroyer.
Yeah, like a space
size.
Hulk or something. Isn't
No,
it?
it's
Yeah.
basically a tugboat.
Ah,
Also, I know Tila shared that information about the cargo holds, yeah?
Yep.
That's also say, coming up then, it looks like if we're going to find any important packages, then it'll be in one of the 2 cargo holds that would have the stuff.
Let's take a look.
let's take a peek.
Okay, which one? The one to the north.
Ready to stab whatever's in there.
Unless
Twice.
the
More
goblin
goblins.
Goblin immediately goes, I went for salvage of cargo hold. That's trash.
Yeah, the door opens up and you hear a goblin go, trash! And you just stab it. And you're like, oh!
Looks like a bunch of boxes of mining equipment.
Yeah, bunch of boxes.
What's in the boxes?
Looking around, it seems to be mostly just supplies. There's water, there's food, air filters, other spare parts. But there's also one, approximately 8 feet square or so, shipping container addressed to the Eoxian embassy.
Is like that box in particular like rendered on this map? Like, is it this crate at the top left corner?
It would be like, let's say this one. It looks basically identical to the others. It looks very unassuming, just a wooden box, basically.
So, size of this box then, is it as big as like we are?
It's fairly sizable. It's maybe just under 2 meters long, about
Okay.
a meter in each other dimension.
When
That
we
means-
leave, let's turn off the gravity again, and we can just sort of float it out here.
Possibly. I was just like with that sort of size, like that means I could just pretty much like lay on this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you would, but yeah.
The size of a large chest.
Okay, so and Tasselis, like, you know, obviously like Victor making a lot of sense there, but just sort of like a curiosity thing, if he like leans down, like sort of like, you know, like, puts his weight against it, like how heavy would it be?
It's hard to judge. Light enough that 2 people could lift it.
Tasselis says, "Yeah, we can do that. Boss Fred, that's obviously the easier one on the muscles. Doesn't look like there's any danger in here, though. We can move this once we've secured transportation."
I'm sure we could move now, but to where?
Yeah, we don't have any.
Wait, what? What is Grimith is still here? Hello?
Hello?
I think Discord is dying because I literally don't. I heard the sound like
I
someone
heard like
left.
a bunch of like.
I heard the sound like someone left, and I don't see Grimith in here, but I just heard him talk.
I just heard like stuttered like.
Yeah, I can see that
Yeah.
one of my servers is currently in a temporary outage.
Hello?
So might be an issue.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Demons.
It still shows me as muted. Am I muted?
No.
No.
Okay, it's still
Yeah.
Discord is freaking
Oh.
out.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm unable to send a message in another server I'm in as well.
Hmm.
It has risen. It is
Now,
coming.
this never happened with Skype.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
This also rarely happens with
Discord
Discord.
is like a seed AI project that is now awakened, and we are doomed. It is the new network crisis.
With your words, you have taught me that your people fear my kind.
What was the name of the AI from Shadowrun? What kind of we ran into?
Deus,
Yes, I am Deus.
call me God.
Yes. Man.
Then I would disconnect. And I still could.
So what can be made out of this rare green metal?
Well, how much do you know about physical science?
Nothing.
Oh, make me a Vesk Mark III power plate or something.
Yes, we
I can
need Big Red in the
Just need
in
2
the power
million
armor
credits, and
and
then,
give him like a battle chainsaw or something.
I have physical science.
Then science away.
like a chain
Yes.
glaive.
I will
Something.
science.
Okay. Maedar would recognize this as presumably the fairly rare and valuable metal no-qual. Nobody's entirely sure where it comes from. It's certainly not found in veins. But it is certainly around, looking like a pale green crystal, and can be worked as easily as iron. It is, however, stronger than iron, while still being fairly low weight. And more importantly, it's strangely resistant to magic. Objects made of it gain a +4 bonus to saving throws against magical effects. In addition,
the people wearing the objects.
They don't get any benefit.
Oh.
The armor, however, would break less against magic. However, in addition, melee weapons or ammo fashioned from no-quill gain a +1 enhancement bonus to damage rolls against magical constructs and undead creatures created by spells. Which is most undead creatures.
Sounds like that could be sold to somebody for some amount of money.
Yes. One bulk is 500 credits.
Okay. Glad I'm carrying that then. People laughed at me. You said I was mad. But
Did I? I don't recall saying that.
in 2 days I'll be dead. So.
Well, as the goblin said, more trash for me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the goblin has started following again, sort of peeking around corners.
Wary
Wary of doors.
Here, and there's going to be like a sleeping undead master prince in there.
And there ain't no chains on me.
It's really awkward that it's only Grimith who can't join us.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Can watch the stream as he's doing, but he'll be like 20 seconds behind.
Something like
Yeah.
that, yes.
Also, it's still really weird that it shows you as muted when you're not.
I know.
My one server is still out, so
Yeah, I'm not actually talking. It's just your imagining.
I can turn it on and off.
what's server even is? Oh, it's
I guess we could continue if you like. Explore the rest of the ship.
I suppose.
At least the bottom room of we need more loot, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna go fill my water real fast, but otherwise I'm fine with that.
It appears to have restabilized for the moment.
Oh,
There you go.
this is freaky. I don't see you in the Discord chat.
Oh no!
I
Net
And-
ghost.
And apparently I'm still muted, so
Yes, you
who
are
knows
still
who's
muted.
talking.
Sorry, I can't let you do that, sheep.
Yes.
Good.
Oh, hacker running, sweating through my corridors.
I noticed a physical science check there, but I
It
don't
was to
have any
identify
context for that.
the eggshells as the rare material something that's worth 500 a bulk.
Yeah,
Oh.
the material is called no-qual. I'll just spell it up because it's
They
So,
make they make like equipment out of that or something.
yes, you can. Armor made out of it is resistant to magic, although it doesn't transfer that resistance to its wearer. And weapons made of it are particularly effective against magical constructs and most undead, giving a +1 enhancement bonus to damage.
Getting a lot of markers against undead here. I feel like-
I've added the
Yopsy Night
no-call.
Army.
I've added it to my list of loot we've got. So.
Okay.
Sell it to the Crusaders of Day so they can destroy.
No, there's a
we-
pawn shop actually.
We might need it when we fight the 97 Eoxian ambassadors.
We have come for the no-call.
I mean, it's a +1 damage bonus to ammo. I don't think.
Anyway, this seems like the sort of thing we can look at more in depth once we make sure that there's going to be no spooks coming for us.
Let's break in this door. There's surely no spooks in there.
Okay. You open.
So custodian
door.
horror just screams out.
Oop, that's not open the door. You
All right, Tasselis. Wait, the two of us together we can
open the door and immediately see
stab it.
two goddess who turn around to look at you as you open the door.
To what?
These guys
Spooks.
Oh, okay.
will go to initiative.
We'll stab them.
Well, they are
I assume the other two would come over here as well and not hang out. Like,
They're hanging out with the goblin. They're trading like bedtime stories.
The goblin is here, of course.
Oh.
Yes.
He has his
Well, if we gotta
laser
if we're
ready.
hanging out with the goblin, then
He has a vested interest in loot. Well, he's just not
Oh, yeah.
opening the doors first like the other guy did.
So we
No,
get
but-
first
he's learned his
choice,
lesson.
but,
Yeah.
no.
But he's flailing his laser around, ready to help.
I'm gonna move.
This is
and
gonna
then-
be great.
then get-
I hope he gets a high initiative. I want to see him act.
Missing Teslas? There we go. Victor gets to act first.
When does the goblin act?
I'll show you the initiative. With the light on, there's no need for spook anymore.
Poor Candace don't get to have initiative at all.
That's true. It's probably not right. There we go.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting overly murdered by these things, so I'm gonna step back here and prepare an attack on approach.
Okay. This kata will in fact rush towards you, walking on the floor this time, not clawing.
So he is stepping through my reach, so I'll get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, but he does have cover because he has cover in this square.
Sure. That's a no. And then I get
that
my
is a
third
miss.
attack for 20.
20 hits.
Step
7
for
damage.
That's that.
Tell us.
Well, these creatures are thoroughly nasty. He does not really want to get closer, so he'll be fine back here, I believe. He will try to sense the thing. Yes.
Yes.
And let's see if I can shoot it. Nope.
Shoot the goblin back of the head.
Yes.
Explodes.
With cover, that misses. And Grimith is gone again. This other encounter will sneak past here, bite the goblin. Thump. Okay, well, the goblin waving its laser, flailing, will get bit and instantly be ripped apart.
These poor goblins.
At least he didn't
Maedar.
get void death.
I feel so bad.
Take his place, Maedar.
I want to shoot them, but
avenge
I
him.
must. You know what? I could probably. Yeah, I could charge that guy. I will. Well, obviously go into photon mode because that's a thing I can do, and then I will use my stellar rush ability, which lets me take a charge with no penalties. And he takes 2d6 fire damage. And also I attack him.
Okay,
So I attack at him,
that is a hit.
and he takes 2 fire damage.
Which one?
4 damage.
The Akata 31.
31. Okay. For a total of 4 damage. That could have gone a bit better.
Yeah, it could have. And let me
Minimum
actually
across the board.
confirm quickly, too, about the Solarian. I'm not sure if the photon mode... when photon attuned, you gain a +1 insight bonus to damage rolls, including damage rolls for your stellar powers, so he takes 1 more damage. I guess the fire from my
Okay.
rush would do 1 more.
He burns slightly. Wait, that's fire damage, right?
Yes.
Turns out he doesn't give a damn.
Oh, great.
But he does lose 2 damage to your gauntlet.
Yes.
Tasselis. Get him at 133. Alright. Throwing spear at him 2. And that is a miss. Uh, 12 hits. 12 barely hits.
5 damage.
5.
That's all I can do.
Alright. The Akata will full attack Victor.
Oh, come get some.
That is a 11 and a 9. Tell us.
Well,
Good.
let's see here. We'll shoot the one who's damaged. Let's see if I can sense it. Probably
No.
not. Let's see if I can hit it.
Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
Its motivation clearly changed in that
Yes.
round.
6 damage.
That.
Well, that's it.
They do die less spectacularly with gravity. They sort of just collapse rather than explode. This one will full attack Maedar.
No.
1 for a 23
Ow.
and a 10.
Ow. No.
8 damage.
I have very little AC, actually.
You do. Talos should really be in front line with his amazing AC somehow.
Yeah.
I guess it's dexterity.
It's the
Dex,
Dex.
I guess.
Okay.
Well, you don't have to roll a fortitude save.
Yes, I already have Space Doom.
It's Maedar's turn.
Space Doom really sounds less bad than Void Death.
Void Death, yeah. Well, I will. Can we get the goblin off of me here? Oh, there we go. I got it.
Oh, the goblin.
Yeah,
It kicks
I
it
was
away.
trying to edit my token, and it was just bringing up the token selection thing. I forgot I had to actually right-click to edit. Anyway, I'm gonna try to poke his face.
That is a hit. 6 damage.
7, right?
7.
7, sorry. Yes.
Yes.
Tasselis. Get him number 41. And inspiring boost on Maedar.
Oh, awesome.
You regain 7 stamina.
Yeah.
Victor.
That boost is actually really useful. So at a +1 for 12 and 14.
Both hit.
Yes, stab it and kill it.
It's dead. Now that there's no longer a vacuum, you can hear nothing because combat is over.
Yes. Any more in here?
No. Just a bunch of boxes.
Well, I guess we'll check those around too. Salvage rights and all.
Okay. In this room, you can see more shards on the floor of that greenish, purplish metal.
Oh, tell me about them.
They are 2 bulk.
Yes. That's good money. If only I wasn't gonna die.
You could also roll me a perception check.
I could certainly try.
So you look around. You also see below, like a crate or like a pallet, a pistol-looking thing, which seems to be a flame pistol.
Alright, I'll add it.
Oh, flame
One.
pistol. Yeah, okay, flame pistol.
Flame pistol.
Mm.
Don't know what that does. We can look at it later, though.
It's a pistol that shoots flame.
That's what I
Presumably.
imagined. Though it's not going to be very useful against these things.
No.
They're immune to fire. So. All right. So less of a good room, but you know.
I mean, if you're looking for air filters and welding tools, then success.
How much are they worth?
Hmm.
It's negligible.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Well, power core time. Oh yeah.
Power core time. Good God.
Okay, you want to check under the bed?
Yeah.
For monsters.
Oh, they had a loot bag under there.
Under the bed, you can find a big pile of stuff. Some of it looks useful, most of it doesn't. You can find... there it is. You find an incendiary grenade, 2 shock grenades, a sticky bomb grenade, 2 detonators, an engineering toolkit, fire extinguisher.
Oh, I can't type that fast. 1 incendiary, 2 shock, 1 sticky bomb,
2 detonators,
2 detonators,
an engineering toolkit,
engineering toolkit.
a fire extinguisher,
Okay.
and 500 UPBs worth of various metal materials.
And 500.
UPBs.
Alright. UPB. Alright.
There also seems to be a keycard looking to slot into a computer of some sort. And a cred stick containing 500 credits.
I'll add that as well. Alright. So far it's looking to be a lucrative haul. If I can live for more than 2 days. Alright. The keycard, that is something that Talus should have. To things. Hand it over to him.
Sure. I'll take the key card. Looking it over. Does it say anything particularly interesting on it?
Doesn't say much. It basically just says keycard.
All right.
You know, like a USB stick that says USB stick.
Complete script on a piece of cardboard. Allows full access to everything.
Oh, it's adorable. Next to a sign that said "No girls allowed."
Secret base. Don't steal.
You want to open this door?
Yeah. Stab all the monsters inside.
Oh, I made the door thicker instead. Inside, you can see the gently humming power core of the ship.
Good thing the goblins didn't get to that.
No. That would have been unfortunate.
We're broken it. Or made it better for a little while.
It's hard to say with goblins.
Yeah.
I mean, they do fly through space, which is an achievement.
It is.
They have that going for them.
So I guess we're going to engineer. I mean, it doesn't look to me like there's anything else in here.
No, this room has only the power core in it.
Alright, well, let's prepare to move on, guys. Because it's going to get worse before they get better.
Right, here you can see the clear signs, an engineering area full of tools and machines, some half finished, sitting on desks. And those things.
Something Tila should take a look at, perhaps. He knows about this stuff.
Sure. Suspiciously eyeing the power core, Teals will head over. At the call of Boss Red, as he, I imagine he growls menacingly.
The room seems empty, apart from the some more scraps of some of the no-quill cocoons, and 2 conveniently absent Akatas that have been removed because another fight isn't fun, and it's late.
No quill cocoons, you say?
No qual.
How much would that be?
Well, 2 more would be 2 bulk. It's another 1,000 credits.
Yes.
Also, there's a bunch of unfinished tech lying around, which you could probably salvage for 300 UPBs.
I'll just add that to the UPB count we already have. Yep.
And looking around, below one of the consoles, presumably placed there to not be in the way, you can see a tactical arc emitter.
Tactical arc emitter. Right.
Which is a shock rifle, I believe. Yes, it's a long arm. Yeah, turning unfinished tech into tasty drinks through the power of science. And of course, there is the airlock going out of the back of the ship. And apparently Jake is gone. Everyone is gone. Oh, hello.
Hello,
I guess we're going to Skype.
I guess. If Jake
Hello.
has it installed.
I can't leave the Discord call.
Ha ha!
Currently undergoing server maintenance.
I can still hear you, Jonas. I left.
No.
I swear.
Can I
I
kick
hear
you
you
from
twice
it?
now.
Oh, I hear it twice too. Stop this. Stop this
Guys,
madness.
it's fine.
I
don't have a
closed
problem.
Discord.
Everything works. This is comfortable, isn't it, guys? Like this is what it used to be like.
I'm having
Yes,
trouble to
yeah.
disconnect as well now. Oh dear. I wonder what something horribly, terrible must have happened to Discord.
They're working on it. Investigating the major outage which is affecting the vast majority of issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I booted up Skype the moment like it went down for me, and I'm like, yeah. But you folks are still holding on, keeping the dream alive.
Believe.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that the arc emitter, the tactical arc emitter, is a long arm that shoots in a 15-foot cone.
Neat.
For a D4 of electric damage. And electric? I think that's what it's called. Lightning.
All right.
Like, it's sort of like battery, like condition, like these things have like charges, or does it have no charge at all?
It has a bit of charge. It has like 14 charges left.
Okay. Good information to have, should anyone choose to use it. Poor goblins.
Do I sound okay? I know I have a precedent of sounding terrible on Skype.
You sound fine.
Or audio,
Yeah.
like volume-wise, I mean.
Yeah, you sound great.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're not devouring anything. It's awesome.
Still that whole void death thing going on, but I don't think Skype can fix that.
Speaking of that, that goblin who appeared to die to these like blue blob things. I wasn't able to really ask about it at the time, but like, hell, I don't even know what. You know what? I think just in case, I'm gonna space that goblin.
Okay.
Goblin corpse.
You know, I mean that doesn't stop them, but
No, but it prevents it like from getting like on this ship. Like it'll take like a few days, but you know, just in case. Tasselis, even though I rolled a 20, slight possibility. Might be wrong.
Reveal the ship for you.
Space that guy. Okay.
it's not a very aesthetically pleasing ship, I would say.
You know, functional.
Tugboats typically aren't aesthetically pleasing.
Lots of engines like you would want.
But when
Yeah.
we get a ship, guys, like a permanent one, I want it to have like a layout like this. We can,
Now it's the
The
it's
FTL
the
layout.
aft.
Yeah.
It's the aft airlock that would lead to the. I guess that would be like we're gonna have to get to this asteroid. Like, is it like closest to the aft? Like we'd have to like
Yes.
go along the cable.
The aft airlock is placed in a way that it's basically flush with the thick cable that connects to the asteroid.
Okay. How much of a journey is that to get from the ship to the asteroid?
It's probably a good 200 feet.
All right, and we would be able to just basically like use the cable as a guide, and hopefully never let go of that.
Yeah. Want to float randomly?
Yeah,
around?
the cable, just to maybe highlight that. Let me draw the cable.
Because
I'll do it
that
in a-
seems the sort of thing where you don't have a backup plan for the vacuum of space unless you're Telos.
It's
We
basically
can float
like
around
like
for a
that
little
thick.
while, but that's pretty
Okay.
thick cable.
Yeah, that's. You might have
Does
difficulty.
it have handholds on it?
No.
Damn. Dreams. Okay. In theory, then, if we were looking for signs of like any possible survivors, the log said that they retreated back onto the asteroid. So we're gonna check there, in part because, like, I mean, I guess we could just wait here, and hopefully, like, someone like comes to scoop us out whenever we're still maybe alive after a few days.
But retreat on the asteroid, like on top of it.
Well, into it, I assume.
But it was
Yeah, Telos
It was
in
full of
the
caves.
data found out that it's full of caves.
right.
So they've gone into the asteroid where where there was what was the exact log? They say that there was something else.
Yeah, like the horrors supposedly came from there, so I'm not sure.
Well, so it's probably empty now, surely. Let's go in there and see what happened to them.
No, yeah, I'm in.
I'm gonna die
Just
in
to
2
make
days. What's the risk?
just to make next session more appealing, the log said there's something else. It came from the rock.
Yay!
Right, so that's great.
A Shoggoth.
Okay, so there's that. Obviously, we're not going to be able to take the crate with us there. We're going to have to.
I mean, we don't have a ship. We're not
Like, yeah, I don't even know what the
going
hell we
there.
do with the crate at this point. You guys want to check to see what's in the crate?
I mean, no. I imagine that they can send us another ship. Like, they know currently how far we. I imagine this is like. Did anyone steal that ship? I don't actually think so. I think it was just autopiloted
Yeah.
away to be like,
It's
if something bad happens, it can't leave.
It's possible that we don't get another ship until we check out
Yeah, I think
whatever's on that
it's like
asteroid.
once you finish this job completely and be sure that nothing bad is on there, then you can come out.
But
That's what I think is going on here.
Yeah.
I suppose. So, I mean, before we go onto the drift rock, you guys want to check out what's in the crate for the ambassador?
No,
Nah.
I don't think I want to piss that guy off.
It can be our like car to get out if he tries to be cute. We can be like, oh, but Mr. Ambassador will destroy the package.
The ambassador lets a bunch of like shitty level 2 adventurers hold him hostage over what's in the box.
I mean, he clearly
If you
wanted
did,
the
then I would want
box.
to see what it is.
I mean, like,
Don't open it. Not so close to Absalom Station.
Tasselis is firmly in the belief of like doesn't even want to open this thing at all, doesn't even care what's inside it. But I, as the
no.
player, thought I would suggest it.
Like Victor, like it's a box of mail or whatever. It's not his business. His business is dealing with whatever is inside this asteroid, so it cannot hurt innocents.
It'd be hard to do too because you'd have to like distract the observation droid anyway, or like lead it away.
I mean, it can be here. Like, I think it would rather see what's going on in the asteroid than in the box. Right?
Like, what's piloting or controlling it? It could be the ambassador, since he's the one watching over the feed. He can take it wherever the hell he wants.
It's true. He's just staring at the crate still.
Oh, the little observer bot is with you.
Yeah, but we don't know what it would do if we split up or tried to like distract it. So, but it's a moot point. I think the best person for it would be Telos, and if he's not buying it, no one's getting it in it. Maybe it's like Christmas carols, box of Christmas carols.
I just want to get into the spirit, you know.
Favorites.
Puts on
And
a,
then-
a beard and a Santa suit.
I mean, the session when we do get back with it potentially would be closed. You know,
Maybe.
Christmas what?
Then I guess as far as we're concerned, there's nothing left to do but to mourn our goblin buddies and grab the really big cable and pray as we climb to the asteroid.
Where something else resides.
Let's hope it's something nice. You know,
Yeah.
really pleasant old woman lives in there.
Hello, it is
Well,
my
Those
Well,
people, I don't know where they are. There's only me and my
Well,
animal
two of the
friends
members
here.
of the
Have you
party
seen
are
my
potentially
pets?
on a death clock.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a great position to be in, but
Did you?
you know,
Do
we're
you
all really on
want
a death
some-
clock. We just don't know what's coming for us. It could be there's a
Different.
monster on that asteroid that's going to kill us all. You know,
It's true, we're adventurous. We're constantly on a death
Yeah.
clock. Technically.
like just make roll a 10 plus to not die in 2
I will
days.
say this certainly does feel like an adventure.
Yeah.
For the disease, the specifics, let me look at the rules here, because it might be relevant to not die. I was just looking at it. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, it is definitely a disease affecting your physical capabilities. And the physical disease track has the stages of healthy, which you're no longer at, latent, which the disease has not reached yet, and also doesn't show any symptoms. After that, it's weakened, impaired, debilitated, bedridden, comatose, and dead. So,
Didn't you say that it didn't have like a particular state or some fashion?
it doesn't have a carrier state,
Okay.
and it also doesn't have a latent state. So, right now you're between healthy and latent. Tomorrow you will be latent, which normally would have. Actually, no.
It would just
At
skip
no
ahead
point.
then, right?
It wouldn't skip ahead. It would just do nothing there.
Okay.
But in 2 days, you will feel the effects of weakened, day after impaired, day after debilitated, day after bedridden, day after comatose, a day after dead.
Okay, so it doesn't kill as fast as as advertised.
No,
So when do I get to make saves? Every day?
every day.
Okay.
At the end of every day.
Yeah.
I just need to have received medical attention, and then they'll get the +4 or whatever. Well, we'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see.
So it gives me a few saves to do it.
All right, then
Probably
Tasselis
after
will
the first.
assume Tasselis modified his statement to you won't literally be dead in 2 days unless
Okay.
you die of some other means than void death.
It's a good
Yeah.
story, though.
Yeah,
Great
leave it for the
great
camera.
audience.
no?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, we'll leave it for the audience. There's like some like scientific
As soon
asshole,
as that was said, at like a clock or in red letters was added to the
Beep.
top corner.
There's like medical experts calling in. That's not how void death works.
Like our consultant is listening to advice, and in 3 days we will revise the statement.
Watch live as Red Terror fights the horror of the Void Death.
All right. Well, we don't look like we're in the worst condition, although I'm not too enviable to consider whatever else is in the rock.
Oh, we cleansed this whole part.
Considering that you can't apparently even sense what's in the rock due to whatever it's made out of. Apparently, the creatures living on the rock, to some extent, are made out of space metal that people use for shit.
Well, their eggs is at least.
Yeah, their eggs are valuable.
Maybe
which
the
is
hive mother is in there, and she's like eating the inside of the meteorite and making eggs of it.
Now I have to imagine the five of you sitting around like a makeshift campfire in the dark, telling each other what the worst thing could be that you'll encounter.
Well, that's certainly a thing. I take this as session end then, as we look at the massive cable.
Yes. We will find out next Friday. We don't have to wait 2 weeks. We only have to wait 1 week.
Okay.
God.
Yeah.
Are we
That's
going back
Black
to
Novel
Friday.
concept.
going back to original schedule, basically?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, we've been so slow so far that I think in a week the third book releases. We are not through the first one.
Yep.
Although I did add a lot of content.
Well, whose fault is that, Chip?
Yeah.
Should we
it's a
expect
good.
it to be a weekly thing then from now on, or should we-
No, still 2 weeks. But let me look at experience.
I don't even know how much we need.
I don't know either, but I've made an Excel sheet that tells me.
This is the
I have
sixth
that too,
session we've had, I do believe.
How much do you need?
That's my XP track. I think somebody I should know.
It is session 6.
We need 3,300. And we have about half of that. So.
Yeah, in response to what we're currently at, you're basically like, it's okay, I'm keeping track.
It's gonna be a few more months.
Yeah.
Before we reach that.
Not gonna lie, it goes pretty slow. It's
Well, you know.
I do a d6 damage. I
You
feel
will that for a little bit longer. Well, next
horribly
level you get like half your
ineffective.
class level.
Next level, so December.
Yeah, so it's a new year
January,
at
perhaps.
this.
You probably not.
But perhaps January. We'll
Depending
get to
on how
level
things
3.
go.
Then I can get an upgraded sneak attack dice.
I mean,
I can
Sheep
make
did say this was like a 1 to 12, 1 to 15, like
It's
One
like-
12, yeah.
if I can make the fucking sense motive check.
So 2019 sometime.
Yeah,
we might
that
see
seems-
some gains.
Yeah. If I'm reading that right, you will be at 2,575 experience.
So we got 1,050.
That seems to be the case.
2,575. All right.
Me don't pay attention to how much XP is required to level, and only level when someone tells me to. Do I level?
No.
No, not
Okay.
yet.
We're about
1 session away. Exactly.
depending on how much we kill. Let's hope for the people in this asteroid that they're already dead.
How much we kill?
We need more blood.
We rammed this deadly meteorite into the station.
We
Killing billions.
We
Level
fly
12.
toward the asteroid
I
and
mean, you
find
know.
the nearest opening, just screaming XP.
If it's an XP per kill, then we'll level a
Stay
lot.
in the
I
forest,
believe.
killing boars.
Yeah.
Epsilon station is doomed.
Doomed.
But yeah, I think that'll be it for today. I enjoyed
Alright.
the session very much. Now that I've actually had everything prepared and not had my computer die on me randomly.
I did get to have void death, which I've not tried before.
Well,
And you can continue enjoying that next session.
Yeah.
the gift that keeps on giving.
So my new Akata character build is going to come online.
Ooh,
Great.
I remember who I was.
I was once a man.
Don't touch me, please.
Looking forward to it, I
Yeah.
guess. Insert lack of enthusiasm.
I mean, there's going to be something marvelous in there, surely.
Nah, only death.
Only death.
No,
There's
loot, only death.
There's a reason why this is a quarantine zone. You know, they were just waiting for the right set of patsies to come here and solve these things. We are the patsies. Spoiler alert.
All right. Well, if that is the case, I shall head off to bed, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. We have Out of the Abyss tomorrow as normal. And we will see you next week from our Starfinder.
Oh yeah. You know that the great thing about having these Friday sessions before our Saturday sessions is that I tend to forget about the Saturday sessions because I'm so nervous about running the Friday sessions.
Oh.
Which means every time you mention that we have a Saturday session, I get really excited because I forgot.
Well, there you go. We'll catch you tomorrow, guys. See you then. Good night.
Good night.
Night.